Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Don't hold on, radio.
We're live.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives.
Follow it up with some ginger.
If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily session as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, the extended greetings to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China,
Ni hao.
In India, namaste.
Namaste.
In Japan, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
In Korea,
Sabuna.
in Senegal, nangade.
Nangade.
In Kenya, jambo.
Jambo.
In Israel, shalom.
Shalom.
In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Greetings. And may peace be upon you. And thank you for joining us this morning.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversation on higher learning with those with truth for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, the Female Solution. Monday, 7:30 to 9 a.m. Be sure to send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit DeltaSpeak.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the Mindfulness/Stress Relief Coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moments with us today. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of Mindfulness on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. Thanks for listening.
Grand Rising. And thank you so much for joining me here this morning. It is a pleasure and an honor to be with you this day, because any day above dirt, it is a good day. Somebody didn't make it today, and we are one of the ones who did. So that means we've got work to do. So welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness right here. And you will be pleasantly surprised today here on the Female Solution. We are just here to start your week off with a mindfulness stress relief session. Yes, we do a live meditation at 7:15 a.m. So happy Earth Day, birthday, born day. If you're celebrating a birthday, we've moved into the month of September, and I do believe that is Virgo. Yes, so happy birthday, Earth Day, birthday to all the Virgos out there in the world. And also those who are sick and shut in, and those who are affected by this pandemic. In the news today, we are praying for you. There's just so much chaos and confusion happening all over the world. This is just the time to go within and stop focusing on whatever's going on out there and focus on what's going on in here. We cannot control what's going on out there, but we can control what's going on in here by only allowing specific amounts of information to come through. Not all day 24/7 on the no. It'll drive you crazy. There is so much manic. What's the word I'm looking for? a manic mentality out in the streets, and people just popping off, just snapping for no reason at all. So it's like you're driving and they want to get in front of you, let them go right ahead, because you never know a person is just this quick from snapping, and you don't want to be the person that they snap on. Anyway, I want to thank you for keeping in prayer Mama AZ in Arizona as she recovers, and also our other sister of the microphone, Minister Cynthia Williams. Always know that our hearts and our spirits and our love are with you as you are going through these challenging times, and we appreciate you. So just know that you're not alone. And for those who are watching who may be feeling alone, you are never alone. You are at one with self and one with the divine energy, whatever you decide to call it. And that is what you have to stick to it and know. You've often heard the old folks say, when you know what you know, what you know. Well, that's what you have to know, because that's the only thing that's going to save your sanity. So I just thought I'd share that with you. And coming up at 7:30, at the 7:30 break, not now, it's the Men of HLN. That's Men Making a Difference in the Community, Men on Higher Learning. So if you're behind the scenes, come back at 7:30, because we got a whole show. But you feel free to stay here, but I just can't pull you up until after the 7:30 break. If you're listening online, be sure and send in your questions or comments. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. You got to press 1, otherwise I don't know you're there. And I'm expecting a call from a Judge Kelly who I met yesterday. Shout out to my Be It Wiz family. I'm just sorry. I heard him yesterday. Her beat a lady so bad she just got up and left. She didn't even say bye. Somebody I know on a regular basis. She just got up and left. I ain't gonna call your name out. I ain't gonna put you on Front Street, but yeah, you know, we ran a couple of bosses. We hurt you real bad. But I wouldn't have left. I just, sat there and wait to play again. That's just me. I just like to have fun. But she wasn't trying to hit it. She got up, took her chair, and went home. Okay. All right, but we still love you, girl. We'll play you some more tomorrow too. Okay. Anywho. If you're watching online on social media, we're on Facebook.com, HLN TV show, as well as my page, Zelda Speaks. Oh, be sure and check out my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. All the information that you need about anything. I know you've been hearing me talk about all these apps on my cell phone, right? 150 of them. You're not getting paid. They are making money off of you, so you need to go to my blog right now, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com, and find out how you are being taken advantage of, because you have all these apps on your phone, whether you're using them or not. That's why I got too many on mine. I'm still deleting them. I can't believe 100 apps late, and I'm still deleting. So yeah, you are not going to make money off me. So if you want to cash in on the $25 billion cell phone data industry, then this is your chance to do something about it. So check it out on the blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. And while you're there, be sure and check out the on the internet our YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV show, and also the higherlearningnetwork.org, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19. And I have a lot to be grateful for the Men on Higher Learning, because they assist in the process of the editing, audio, and video. And excuse me, be sure and download the Higher Learning Network app. Did you know we had an app? Yes. We're not part of that. That is collecting data. We are only sending out resources. We don't collect your data. Maybe we should, but that's just not what we do. That's not who we are. We collect your information so that we can send you information on a weekly basis in the newsletter. So if you want to be a part of that weekly announcements, then you simply send us an email to hlntvshow@gmail.com, hlntvshow@gmail.com, which is also the website, the email for our youth. This Saturday is the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest, and you'll see it streaming there on the banner every fourth Saturday of the month. And this Saturday it's September 25th. September 25th from 12 noon until 1 p.m. And we have youth between the age of 13 and 19 who would like to participate, showcase their talents, natural gift talents, abilities, whether it's singing, dancing, reading, writing, juggling, whatever it is. Send us a 1-minute audition tape via YouTube. It has to. They send us all kind of MOV files, and no, we are only accepting YouTube. So you need to go get you a YouTube channel and send us the link to the channel, and send that a 1-minute video to hlntvshow@gmail.com. And if you'd like to send a separate clip, 10 seconds, your name, what city you're in, what country you're in, and some of your hobbies, just 10 to 15 seconds. That's what you do. So we appreciate that. And we'll include you to the contest and get those entries in now. We may have, I don't know, just send them in. Okay. And while you're on the internet and you've downloaded the Higher Learning Network app, see that little app right there? You see that little HLN, you know you're at the right place. Be sure and download the free download of How I Reverse Type 2 Diabetes. Yeah, if I did it, anybody can do it. You see me drinking this. I'm not going to say nasty, challenging drink every morning. Apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, kale, turmeric. 7 green ingredients. Lowers your numbers slowly but surely. This ain't what I heard, this is what I know. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And last but not least, if you are in pain, and so many people are, go to zelda.now.site. That's SITE, zelda.now.site. And also, if your groceries are too high, go to zeldarobinson.towergarden.com. As we take a look at the traffic and weather, which is sponsored by Karen Kelly of itex.com. Mostly cloudy skies, isolated showers today, 80 today, 71 tomorrow. So mid-70s, low 80s. It's a good day. How about that? Wednesday is the first day of fall. How about that? As we take a look at Metro, the National Rail Safety Week, due to 15 deaths, they are celebrating National Rail Week. I guess nobody got killed this week. CTA, there are no delays. But as we take a look at the expressways, it's a whole other story. On the inbound Kennedy, if you're traveling inbound to downtown, it is 45 minutes inbound. It's Monday morning madness. What can I say? 28 outbound. On the Edens, it's 26 inbound, 24 in the reverse. On the Eisenhower slow at Mannheim, it is a hot mess. 53 minutes, almost an hour. And excuse me. Mannheim to First Avenue, it's slow. Also 28 minutes on the outbound. Inbound on the Stevenson, it's slow, 10 miles per hour. At Harlem to Midway, 28 minutes. On the Dan Ryan, it's a crash at 31st Street, slow from 95th. It's 33 minutes inbound, 21 out. On the Bishop Ford, 9 in. Delays at Stony Island Avenue, expect some delays of 12 minutes. On Lakeshore Drive, DuSable Drive, it's 10 minutes in both directions. And that's your traffic and weather sponsored by Karen Kelly of ITEX.com. ITEX.com is where entrepreneurs and business owners go who have a product or a service that they would like to offer the public, and you can trade your products or services and go shopping. As a matter of fact, you can go shopping immediately on itex.com, and be sure and tell them that Zelda sent you. So you got to use a promo code ZELDA. So email me, and if you want more information, just go to the site. It's all there. Today's word of inspiration is from October 20th. Yes. And it's from Inspirational Conversations. 365 Days of Empowerment with Shalom with Israel. And it says, change your life by changing your vocabulary. What you say has power. When you say, I can't afford something, you're closing off any possibility. What you're telling yourself is that there are no chances of it happening. Now, that's not how the universe works. Study universal laws, and you will begin to understand. So don't speak out of fear by what you can't see in front of you. Think on the possibilities of what can occur. What you see in your mind's eye materializes in your life. Let me say that again. What you see in your mind's eye materializes in your life. Now tell yourself something that you wouldn't ordinarily say. So change your life by simply changing your vocabulary. Didn't know that. Really? Oh, yeah. It's possible. Anything is possible. Inspirational Conversations with Shalom with Israel, available at zelda.speaks.com. Proceeds benefit the Higher Learning Network TV show, Global Virtual Talent, Teen Talent Contest. Because if we don't save our babies, we can't wait, because the system is waiting on them, waiting to wreck their brains and lock them up. So we're going to lock them up first, up here. Put some meat on the head. So let's do it. And how do we do that? We start by breathing. What? Hell, put some meat on somebody's head by making them breathe. Oh. See, it's in the quiet time. In that breath, because the breath is the power. And we don't know that. That's why we breathe so fast. And then we don't take long, deep breaths. Because the power is right here. When you put these two together and you take a breath. Ooh, baby, don't believe me? Try it. Let's do it together. Sit up straight in the chair. Feet flat on the floor. Nothing in your hands, nothing in your laps, nothing in your heart, nothing but that of love and light and energy, because that's what we're going to bring forth this morning. So close your eyes. You should not be looking at me. Close your eyes. Why are you looking at me? Close your eyes. Okay. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. We'll shorten it up just for you, Picante. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. Does that not feel good? Oh, yes, that feels good. We take long, deep inhales because it automatically relaxes the system. When you are taking long, deep breaths, you're sending the body signals that everything's okay. When you're taking shallow breaths, you're upsetting the system. The system is in the fight or flight syndrome, and we don't want to be there. We want you to be okay. So we inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. Once more. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. And this time, as we inhale, let us begin to think, or I should say thank, each and every part of our body that is working with us right now. Nothing is working against us. But we begin with the breath as we inhale. We give thanks for the brain that is sending positive love, light, and energy to the rest of the body. Just by thinking it, as we inhale, we say, I am happy. And exhale. See all that love you just sent your body? Don't you feel it? Oh, yes, it feels good. As we inhale deeply. I am healthy. Two of the most powerful words on the planet. You can say it out loud. Send those vibrating words, those vibrating energies all out to your surrounding space. I am happy. And exhale. Let's inhale one more. I am whole and complete. Inhale. And exhale. Yes, you are sending love and light throughout the entire body as we open up the hearts and the minds and the arms, and we stretch and move and bend and stretch and move and bend and inhale deeply and stretch. Stretch, 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 stretch. Yes, does that feel good? And exhale. And as we inhale, bringing all of that energy to the top of the head and taking the breath and moving it down through the forehead, the face, the neck, the shoulders as we inhale. Giving thanks for the energy as it continues to flow out through our arms and our wrists and our elbows and our shoulders and our chest and our sides and our backs as we inhale deeply. And sending more love and light and energy down through the hips, the thighs, the buttocks, the back, and the knees. Oh, yes. Rub those glorious thighs and knees because they keep us moving. So many people have knee problems. And all we have to do is give them some love and work them out and be good to them, and they'll be good to you. So all you have to do is inhale deeply. Sending those knees and the shins and the legs and the ankles, love, light, and pure energy, pure love, pure light, rubbing on them, speaking to them, talking to them. They're sending you messages with pain sometimes. They're letting you know you need to love me, girl. Send me some love. Inhale. And exhale, sending more love and light and energy down through the feet and the toes. Wiggle those toes, sending that energy back up through the toes, and the insteps, and the arch, and the ankles as we inhale. Bringing that energy back up through the legs and the knees. Yes, rubbing those knees and those light ankles and whatever part of your body needs a little attention, a little love, a little inspiration. As we inhale deeply. Bringing that energy on back up through the thighs and the hips and the sides and the arms and the shoulders as we are rotating. Oh, yes, that feels good. Doesn't it feel good? Why are you looking at me? Rotate them shoulders, child. Oh, that feels good. Yes. As we stretch and move and bend that body, giving that body the that it needs. Yes. As we inhale deeply. And exhale. Inhale once more. Bringing more love and light and energy back up through the face and the top of the head as we inhale, and we give thanks for the power of the breath, because it is the breath that will keep us in times of chaos and confusion. When people are getting on your last nerve and don't even know the flavor of your Kool-Aid, just simply inhale deeply. And this time as you exhale, bring your head forward, chin to chest, and slowly rotate that head around to the left. Slowly. Slow down. You're moving too fast. You should just be getting to the back. Feeling that stretch in each and every increment of your neck. Slowly bring it around to the right and back to the front. Head up. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Bringing the head back down. Slowly rotate the head to the right. Slowly bring it around to the back. Slowly. Oh, feel that pop in the neck. That's okay. It's just movement. And bring it around to the front, chin to chest. Head up. Inhale deeply. And turn that head to the left as far as you possibly can. Ooh, feel that stretch in the right side of the neck. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Bringing the head back. Front. Inhale deeply. And turning that head to the right as far as you possibly can. Ooh, feel that stretch. Does that not feel good? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just want to hold it there for a second. And then bring it back. Ooh, does that feel good? Feel good? Just want to see. That's how you feel good. Talk to the body and listen to the body. And the body tells you what to do. So you inhale once more. Hold it. Take these two fingers and this thumb. Put them in the back of the neck. And massage the back of the neck. That's where the vagus nerve is. And the vagus nerves run from the tip of your neck to the bottom of your spine. And as you are massaging it, sending it love, sending it light, and endless energy as we breathe in. Exhale, and as we breathe out. Next time you're feeling a little irritated, try that too. And you would be surprised at what might happen. Inhale deeply. Take the other hand, two fingers, excuse me, and a thumb. Back of the neck. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, massage the back of that neck. You have no idea of the love and the light and the energy and all the goodness that you are tingling in that vagus nerve. You are actually supporting the immune system as you massage the vagus nerves, because it is sending light and love and energy. It's pow, 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 all over the body. You got renewed energy today. Yes. Give thanks. Yes. Give thanks. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. and just sit with it and just let it marinate, sending your body all kinds of messages. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you. Even though I may be having challenges in my heart and in my back and in my liver and my lungs, I send them all messages of love and light and energy and let them know that I'm listening. Each and every organ in my body responds to me. And I give thanks for all of the trillions of cells and the ligaments and the joints. Not the kind you roll, but the kind that's in your body, okay? As we inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale. We give thanks for the heart, the liver, the lung, the spleen, the spine, the pancreas, and all of the systems that work just because we woke up. No reason, they just work. So we give thanks for those systems that are working, especially those as it relates to our eating, because we know we love to eat, right? So we give thanks as we inhale deeply for the digestive system, the elimination system, the assimilation system. We eat it, it assimilates, and it digests, and it does the works it needs to do to keep us comfortable, to keep us satisfied. And I notice the older I get, the less I eat. And I am just loving that because I used to pig out all the time. This is America's pig out country. So we give thanks that we eat a little less and drink a whole lot more. Water, that is, okay? Just water. Just water, people. Just water. So we give thanks for the power of the body and all that it does for us. See how easily turn that head? Yes. See how easily turn that head? Oh, yes, that feels so good. So I hope you've enjoyed this experience this morning. It is Monday morning mindfulness meditation. And you be sure and share that with someone. And you can also share with them my YouTube channel, Zelda Speaks. And the other channel is Zelda Speaks Mindfulness. So wherever you may go today and you are challenged, just know that you have the power of the breath in your hands. Now, what you choose to do with it, that is entirely up to you. You can let somebody take you off your square, or you can simply start breathing. And if they get too close up on you in your space, you simply inhale deeply, like we just did in training. But when you exhale, blow it out your mouth. And if you got a little stank on your breath, a little funk, I promise you they'll back up. Grand Rising, Naima Latif, our executive producer, says, Grand Rising, beautiful queen teacher, thank you for Monday morning word of wisdom. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share what it is that I have with the world, including the men of higher learning. And that would be those men that contribute to the success of the Higher Learning Network, which is a nonprofit organization that teaches youth behind the scenes radio, television, and print production. That's why we have the youth talent contest. So now you know why we do what we do, because we have people that help us do that here. And I'm going to bring them on board. And our first one is Amandilo, our number one editor. Grand Rising, Amandilo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you and greetings. It's good to be here.
Honored to have you here, looking all official this morning. I love it. I love it. I love it. Is that a dashiki?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I love that. And where did you get that, if you don't mind my asking?
I got it from Kyra Imports. They one of the leading distributors of African supplies and materials. I'm not sure where from the continent they hail from, but they're usually at the festivals, and they have some beautiful materials and fabrics and clothes and so forth.
I've heard of them.
Yes.
I have heard of them, and we're being joined by Fred. Grand Rising, Fred. Thank you so much for joining us. It's the Men of Higher Learning, I guess. Amandilo.
Cliff.
Cliff, thank you very much.
Right.
It's still early. Cliff will be joining us shortly, but in the meantime, in between time, it is 7:30. We are going to take our first commercial break, so you stay close. And while we're doing that, you text somebody, call somebody, and tell them that the Men of Higher Learning are joining us this morning. Actually, they're already on, so be sure and let them know that.
Hi, I'm Dr. CJ of Valona Health, where we combine orthopedic manual therapy and neuroscience to treat the whole person. Health tip for the day is keep it moving. Doesn't matter how, just keep it moving, doing something you enjoy. Walking, dancing, rolling on the floor with your dogs or kids, really anything. The body clears movement to keep its bones, joints, and muscles happy. Even our mental health and internal organs and digestive system rely on our movement. Thanks for being a part of the Higher Learning Network on the Female Solution.
Everything you need, what your body needs, is found in nature. So Cuzan Essentials doesn't do it any other way. Cuzan Essentials provides your employees and individuals access to over 20,000 nutritional products, and they are shipped direct to your door. Because Cuzan Essentials is certified in plant-based healing, we're committed to offer you the best nutritional supplements on the planet. They're non-GMO and sustainably produced, and we take the guesswork out for you. Let Cuzan Essentials help you take control of your health today.
Oh man, I took the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark.
Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456. And schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456.
When you constantly arguing with yourself, are your children used to reading and acting out? Did someone in your family read the word? Have you been intimate with mental violence? Are you grieving the loss of a loved one? Let us help you restore sanity to your life. At Serenity Family Social Services, we understand that good mental health is a result of emotional well-being. Our goal is to assist you and your family in removing emotional distress and restoring harmony and balance to your lives. We offer individual, couples, and family counseling. I'm Howard Williams, CEO of Serenity Family Social Services. Call us today at 312-315-4820. That's 312-315-4820.
Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us back here on the Female Solution. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. The Men of Higher Learning have joined us today, but before we do that, let me remind you the Female Solution lineup for the week is Tuesday, Self Care with Jody Susan. On Wednesday, Naima Latif and Kareem Hamid, Repairing Family Relationships. On Thursday, I just caught a brain fart. I just lost it. Who's on Thursday? I can't remember. It'll come back to me. Friday, Health and Wellness with Viana. And on Saturdays, first Saturday, second Saturday, third Saturday, fourth Saturday, remember, we are not on at 7 a.m. We are on at noon, 12 noon Central Standard Time, 12 until 1 p.m. You can always listen to the shows on the in the archives. They're available 24/7, blogtalkradio.com, The Female Solution. Okay. So as we bring to the podium the men of higher learning, I would like you to know who they are. And you see the show that is airing on Channel 19 in Chicago and on the World Wide Web on our YouTube channel. You need to know that those shows just don't happen. They just don't edit themselves. We have to go out and film it sometimes, and sometimes we have to, well, not sometimes, we have to always come back and edit it because, you know, everybody has a cell phone and they can pick up and they say, man, yeah, that's nice. But sometimes you want to go just a little bit beyond that and have a professional videographer and editor, and that's where these young men come in. Notice I said these young men come in. I only work with young men. So these young men will introduce you introduce themselves to you and tell you a little bit about who they are, what they do, why they do what they do, and how they got involved with the Higher Learning Network. So who'd like to go first?
I guess I can go first.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I actually met Zelda through Keith, another cameraman who was working with the show for some years, and I would run into Keith at different events, and he was always shooting and doing video and stuff. And he mentioned to me about the program, and eventually I was able to get involved. I work in the community a lot. I do a lot of video work for various nonprofit organizations, documenting their programming. Too often the images that people see of our community, particularly if you travel at all, you go to some place and you say, yeah, I'm from Chicago. First thing they want to say is rat-a-tat-tat and Al Capone and violence and gangs. And that's the impression that people get of our city. And that's deliberate, and particularly the Black community. People say the South and West Sides, you immediately know that's the Black, that's the hood, that's Black people. And it's usually associated with crime and gangs. But there's so much more going on in our neighborhoods. And I found that by documenting these events on video and shows like what the Higher Learning Network does and others, that you get to learn so much more. So many of the great people that are working hard in the neighborhood. In fact, I met Fred through his program called Saga, which is designed to help the poor and needy, to give resources to those in need. And they've been doing that for years. And, you know, I'm sure there's never been a news report about the work that they do other than what we show them on programs like this. So, yeah, I've been working with the Higher Learning Network now for about 3 years now, Zelda, I think.
Somewhere around the year, maybe.
Yeah,
Who knows?
And it's been really exciting because through Zelda, I've learned so much about the history of Black radio here in Chicago and some of the pioneers that have been involved in that very important, because it's been historically proven that the Black community gets more of its information about the world through radio than most other mediums. And it drives a lot of our entertainment as well as economic push. And so it's a great history, and we've talked about even, you know, exploring some of that history deeper. And I would love to continue to you know, learn more about it. It's another great legacy of Black Chicago.
Amen.
That we need to tell the world. So yeah, so that's just a little bit about what I do. I've been in the business a lot of years, and I really enjoy it. I meet great people like Zelda and Fred and others, and it's been fun working with the Higher Learning Network.
All right. And we're joined by Cliff this morning. Thank you for joining us, Clifton.
Oh, you know what? I'm embarrassed. Thank you for waking me up.
You need not be, because I know you stay up late editing. So
Assalamu alaikum to everybody.
we don't live normal lives. Editors do not live. We don't live the 9 to 5. We edit round the clock. You know, if you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you edit till 6, then so be it. So you always right on time.
Thank you.
So Fred, tell us who you are and how you came to be with the Higher Learning Network.
You know, Assalamu alaikum to your audience. And how y'all doing?
Wait, Cliff. Fred is talking. I know you're anxious, but Fred is talking. Go ahead, Fred.
Thanks, Cliff. I needed that.
All right, my brother.
My name is Fred E. Haley. I mean, I had to add the E because there's another Fred Haley out there. Well, but as Amandilo mentioned, which kind of took away half of my introduction because I don't have too much to say. You know, as an editor, I'm used to being behind the scenes, you know, not in the forefront. But as he said, I'm a member of a non-profit organization by the name of Saga.
By the name of?
Saga, SAGA, Empowerment Service, where we go out to the communities. You know, a lot of, most recently we went to some of the communities like Harvey, Illinois, Fort Heights, you know, just to distribute essential items and things that most of us take for granted. You know, tissue, mouthwash, toothbrushes. I mean, a lot of simple things that we all have, but you know, just
clean underwear.
Okay, say that. Yeah.
Socks, you know, you name it, we try to put it in a bag, you know, and give to those in need, especially during these troubling times with COVID. You know, even if you're not homeless, you know, people need things because you know they may have lost a job or in between jobs or what have you. You know, so we just try and get out there and make things life a little easier for someone. Okay, and
that's important.
Yes,
that's important.
It's very important.
That's crucial, and we appreciate
especially in our communities.
Yes,
and all communities. Actually.
All communities.
We cannot discriminate.
So this is part of the village, I would like to call it, because the village takes care of the people that live in the village. Because you know, this organization that you're representing, Fred, is right on target, because we can't wait on the government and anybody else, because they've shown us hundreds of years they don't care. They're still repealing voting laws and laws that will help us move forward in life. So you can't wait on somebody who does not have your best interest at heart. That's just not how it happens.
Right.
So we appreciate that. We appreciate the work you do.
Amen.
And now the man has woken up. He's awakened. He's live and in living color. And he's ready to tell it like a TI is. Come on with it, Clifton. I love your energy.
Okay, I wanted, say thank you for extending the invitation to come on your platform and have these esteemed gentlemen and this lady, that wonderful lady that I work for, to have this opportunity.
Let's stop that right there. You don't work for me.
Okay.
We are a team.
Okay.
We represent the Higher Learning Network. This is a team. If you don't work for me, you never for me.
Okay, this opportunity to disseminate information to help people, and it is a tremendous opportunity. Plus, it's a learning opportunity to be involved with Easter seals, because it gives you the ability to actually. I've learned more than what I knew before I started. Under her leadership, and her good, stern leadership and fair leadership. With fair leadership. And actually, she has challenged me to make me better than what I ever was. And for that, I commend her for that.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't. It's just like it's got to be done. And if I can't do it, some of y'all got to know how to do it, because I'm texting you stuff all the time. How do you do this? How do you do that? Yeah.
I'm gonna tell all of y'all it was due to my lack of knowledge. But I have grown in my scope of knowledge, but I don't know everything that I should know. But all praises due to Allah. I have been inspired by the leader of our group to go back to school and get more education and get a degree and get an Apple computer
Oh.
Get away from the PC world and take the plunge and take the challenge and save up my nickels, pennies, and dimes to
dollars for Apple, baby, not pennies.
To see what the Apple world is all about.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm not an advocate of Apple. I am an advocate of whatever helps me get the work done quicker.
Yes.
And it's just like when I was working in secular radio at WGCI back in the day, a brother named Elia Israel, who was the graphic arts director, he made the first book cover. Well, actually, all my book covers. And he would always tell me, he says, "Why are you still working on PC?" He told me that years before we even left the station. And I never got it. Because I was at KNTV working on Adobe. Adobe is one of the hardest software, editing software I know to work on. It's just it's a learning curve, and it takes time, it takes patience. But with iMovie, you can just click and drop and be through with it.
I'm gonna find out.
So I'm just lazy. I love to edit, but if I can make it easier, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna use iMovie. So I'm not hating on nobody that's using anything else. I'm just using what works for me, and because it's just so easy. I got enough stress in my life. I don't need stress to. I'm doing something that I love.
I'm finna dish out this extra money and find out for myself. But I want to give a shout. I want to give a shout out to your ex-editor, Mr. Childs, who I worked with years ago, and he has taught me to help to refine me to make me better. He calls Nelson Riley. He always speaks highly of you. And I just want to give a shout out to those people that know Charles Nelson.
Yes.
Television.
He was one of the first crew.
And that's one of my mentors.
One of the first crew. Charles is an excellent editor. I hate he had to move on, but you learn from people. So everything is for a season, and you move and you grow. Now,
I'm sorry.
Cliff has shared with us some of his challenges in the working with the Higher Learning Network. Fred, you want to tell us about some of your challenges and successes, I should say. Your challenges and successes.
Well, I will say I have grown a bit as well because some of the editing assignments he laid on me was new to me. And it gave me the opportunity to learn a little more about downloading from various platforms out here, which also was challenging because you could do plenty of harm to your computer if you're not sure what you're doing. So I'm still growing in that area, and I appreciate the stern leadership as well, because it is giving me that little push that sometimes we need to get a little better at what we do.
Don't you love it at this age in life, at this part of your life, that you are still learning and growing? Doesn't that make you feel good?
Yes,
it makes me feel good, because I swore on a stack of Bibles when I graduated from Columbia College in 1993 that I would never, ever read another book as long as I live. I didn't want to see a book, smell a book, be around a book, be around anybody that had a book. I was just so ingrained. It's like, I can't read another book. My mind won't take it. And then you discover something that you like, and it's like, oh, I can read another book. Oh, as a matter of fact, I wrote a book, a couple of books, several books. So never say what you're not going to do, because you're always growing and you're always like, that was a lesson.
Can I interject something?
Always.
Okay. Can I put in a quick plug for my show?
Absolutely, positively, because people need to know you can do the show.
Okay. I do a television show called The Underground Railroad.
The Underground Railroad. Did you all do that?
Every Saturday night at 10:30. I got the plug. But it's strange that she was saying something about education. I was speaking to someone and telling them that I'm getting ready to go back to Kennedy King to get my degree, and they said, "You're too old."
No, they didn't.
But you know what I told them? You know what? Now I used your exercise and took a big breathe. And you know what? I said, wait a minute. And they had no garlic. But I said, you know what? Let me tell you something. She has an exercise called mindful meditation. I said, I took a breath and I said, you know what? Wait a minute. You say I'm too old. You're too old. It's not about what you think. It's about what I think. With all due respect. And they had must have smelled the garlic. And they got away from me. See, it didn't have anything to do with their self-esteem. It has something to do with my self-esteem.
Okay.
Me sitting up here listening every day. I'm editing. Y'all don't know I'm editing her tapes about motivation and feeling good about yourself. And I said to myself, you know what? It ain't about what you think about me. It's about what I think about myself.
Amen. Say that.
Those are your limitations.
Right. Because what other folks think about you is none of your business. I want to thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Clifton is the young man who, after every show, he goes and takes out the Monday morning mindfulness excerpt and puts that on my YouTube channel, Zelda Speaks Mindfulness. He puts that on Zelda Speaks Mindfulness. So in case you missed it and you can't listen to the whole show, you can at least go and listen to the excerpt. That's powerful.
Y'all don't know. That's therapy for me as I'm doing this.
That's therapy for all of us.
I'm listening to what she's saying, and it's therapy for me on how to help people. It's helping me.
It's therapy for me too. So don't think you're alone. Do not think you're alone. And that was not my intention. One day I'm just doing the show and something said, start breathing. And I was like, but I am breathing. I'm doing a live show and I got this voice in my head telling me, it was like, okay, don't you know I'm live here? It's like I'm having a conversation inside my head and outside my head.
Well, you know something? I do it all the time because my tolerance for foolishness is very low. I'm using your meditation all the time.
I appreciate it. The universe gave us that. So give thanks to the universe because that's where it came from. It was not from me. Giving thanks, as we say, a shout out to the ancestors. That came from the ancestors. That was not my move. That was from the ancestors.
And for everybody that's listening, that's my testimony. Y'all need to share it. You know what? This broadcast, you need to share it. You need to press share. Whatever social media platform she's using, y'all need to share this.
Amen. Can't get a better testimonial than that from the man who edits it. All right, now, so I got to ask my other two editors. Do they listen to Monday morning mindfulness meditation?
Yes, I do, and I must admit, I actually enjoy your shows. There's always something edifying about it. I always learn a little something, and I won't even say a little something. Sometimes I learn a lot, and I don't share it enough. I do need to share it a little more.
Okay, and you practice it and you share it. Share, because not for me, but because of the world in which we live in. People need to calm down. People are so stressed and so crazy, and their behavior is so erratic. So I say, if you driving and they come, just let them go. Do not race with it. People are getting out of cars and just. And then there are people who are like me, who are just okay. Go right ahead on, because I want to get to where I'm going safely. I know you've had that experience too, Amandilo.
Oh, yeah. In fact, just yesterday, a lady backed into me. She was trying to get into a parking space. And so she hit me. And I got out the car mainly just to see if there was any damage to my bumper. And she just went off like, why didn't you back up? How come you was in my way? And I was like, man, lady, you need to change your attitude. And she was like, well, I ain't sleeping with you. Why I need to change my attitude? I'm like, lady, look, you hit me. What are you getting all upset about with me? You hit me. I should be the injured party. And she just couldn't get it. And so I just said, okay, you need to change your attitude. And I'm so glad that I did not lose my temper. I didn't shout at her. I didn't cuss her out, as she well deserved to be. And I just got back in my car and just sat there, and she was waiting for me to move out the way so she could get into the spot, as she's screaming at me, yelling, saying, how come I didn't get out of her way? I just sat there until she finally drove off. And hopefully out of that, she got a lesson of how to just be calm and wait. And maybe you'll get what you want. Right then, she did not get that parking space. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
So
after
but like you say, those encounters can go a lot of different ways, you know. And
they can.
yeah, you have to be very careful today because some people are just wilding out looking for an opportunity to go crazy.
And road rage is real.
Oh man, it's very serious, you know. So I did not raise my voice. I did not cuss her out, but I did let her know that look, this is not the way you get what you want in this world.
Right.
You know, so but I will say too, back to your other question, one thing that I have really been blessed with is just being exposed to the female solution and the work that Naima Latif is doing, how she's pulled together this incredible group of women to talk about how women can save the world. And I just love the way she ties it up with, if nothing else, we must share our love and the love of women, not just your romantic partner, your wife or your girlfriend, but just the love we get from our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, our aunts. It is what saves the world. And more and more, I think about that woman who was screaming at me yesterday, and she might have just had a bad day. Ain't no telling what happened to her that day. And she seemed like a nice lady. I mean, from what I could tell, she seemed like she was a professional woman who maybe was I don't know what happened to her that day, but and I'm glad I didn't call her names. And you know how we're so tempted to get down in the gutter with people when they come at us. So and so yeah, that love though that comes from women, I think, is so critical to the world right now, and we as men need to support that and encourage that, and to be there to reinforce how valuable that is to us as men and to the world in general. So I really appreciate what the female solution is bringing to the world right now.
And Naima will be so glad to hear that she will be joining us in the 9 o'clock hour, because we do an after show at 9 o'clock. It's called the after show. Duh. It's 7:57. If you just joined the conversation, you are listening to the Men of Higher Learning. That is the editors who make this show possible, who make it happen. And it's happening 24/7 on the World Wide Web, higherlearningnetwork.org, and our YouTube channel. There it is over there. Right there. It's over Amadilo's head now. So whenever you go online, because there's a lot of higher learning, so I always point that out.
There.
When you see that logo HLN, you'll know you're in the right place. So be sure and join us tomorrow morning. Let's talk about it. Now, Lord have mercy. Self-care with Jody Susan. Excuse me. And on Wednesday, Naima Latif with Kareem Hamid. On Thursdays, here I go with this brain again. I have to write these down. I have an old one down and I can't remember it. I'm sure Naima will tell me. She'll call in and tell me. And Friday, Health and Wellness with Viata. We'll give you the Saturday roundup when we come back. But right now it's 7:58. If you have any questions you want to call in, you've got to press 1 to speak right now. That might be the call that I've been waiting on. 515-605-9325. Press 1. 773-977. You're live on the air. Grand Rising. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Lois here in Chicago, the South Shore.
Hi, Lois.
Good morning to all. You know, we're all still alive, and we have so many interesting topics on the female solutions line. I'm not on the Facebook, the Facebook, however, listening to that sheet that one of the gentlemen is wearing this morning. I wish I had been on there. On Facebook this morning.
You can see it afterwards.
I'm just thanking God for all of these a reason. And whatever God has given us, He's given everybody a gift. Everybody has their own individual gift. I believe, you know, and I know nothing like that, but I believe that God gives to everybody a certain gift. Now, we have to use those gifts when just think about what He's already given us.
work with. The first line of prayer is a sentence that we all just constantly into it. Prayer works. And this is listening of not remembering yourself. I'd like to invite everyone to join me in prayer every Tuesday and Wednesday night over 50 Ministry Hospital at 8 o'clock.
Where is that at now?
Ministry.org.
She is breaking up really, really bad. I can't hear.
YouTube, Instagram, Faith, FAIGH, Victory, VICORY, Ministry, MINISTINTION.org.
All righty, Miss Lois. We go.
Prayer works. Whatever it is that we need, well, God gives it to us. We have to ask him now. Yeah, he knows what we need, but he just wants us to ask him. And so I'm asking for whatever the desires of your heart, that God will give it to all of us. And I just thank you all for this time, and God bless you.
Amen. Thank you too, Miss Lois. We appreciate that. Miss Lois from Chicago. Amen. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. We're going to take our next break, 8 o'clock, and we'll be right back. So stay close.
Hey, Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a funeral to get to. In fact, Stevie's mother's funeral, Fred, happening this morning.
Yeah, no.
So I'm a videotape it, and I need to kind of get ready for that. But I enjoy being on the show. We got to do this more often.
Okay, wonderful. I agree. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for coming on this morning.
All right. Good seeing you, good brothers, and y'all handle it. Hold it down for me.
You too, brother.
All right, then. Talk to y'all later.
I want to talk to you later on, man. I left you a message.
Yeah,
man.
Fred, I got your message. I'll reach out to you.
All right.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Make it a great day. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you too,
pray for the family.
So,
yes,
so Miss Zelda.
Hold on.
Okay.
And reaching promo code FAML Solution and get free shipping. That's zeldaspeaks.com or 312-409-6619. Stop worrying today. Visit zeldaspeaks.com.
Yes, sir.
I just want to let you know, anytime you like to come on the Underground Railroad to extend that invitation to you, just let me know what month you like to come on.
Okay, will do. I would love to come on.
It's reciprocation.
Yes, sir. Okay, we got another. Thank you so very much. It's 8:02. We got a couple of more commercials. While I'm doing that, you all send a text to somebody. I need to send it to you, don't you?
Okay.
What do I do with my phone?
See, man, I invite her, but her medium is much bigger than mine.
What was that?
I said, I invite you, but your medium is much bigger than mine.
Hey, Cliff, send me a link to your program when you get a chance.
Huh?
Send me a link to your program when you get a chance.
Absolutely, brother. You gonna have to send me your email address.
Okay.
My show is little, hers is large, brother.
I got you.
In Chicago. For your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business.
And I think I'll allow for it.
Praise God, brother. Praise God.
Call us at the 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557.
And it's 8:03. We are back on the Female Solution, Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks on Monday Morning Mindfulness. And I'm joined by the men of Higher Learning. That is the men who make sure that the work is done for those who want to see this show and others. They have to be edited sometimes because we share these airwaves with people who don't necessarily have internet, because a lot of people, is it rainy? Yes, it is rainy. They said scattered thunderstorms, but the weatherman, it's the only job I know you can have and not be right and still get a check. Anyway, the Men of Higher Learning, men making a difference in the community. I'm joined by Clifton Bradley, host of the Underground Railroad, who has just invited me to be a guest on his show. Thank you so much. Which airs when, Clifton?
Absolutely.
Which airs when?
Oh, come on, every Saturday night at 10:30. So after you get through looking at the news, get the real news on Underground Railroad Television.
Okay.
Central Time.
Okay, because that's fake news.
Oh, and Donald Trump was right about that.
Okay, because that's fake news. And look who we are being joined by this morning. Donald!
Yay. Good morning. Good morning.
What's going on, bro?
Man,
Hey, how's everybody?
Higher Learning. Welcome.
Pleasure, my pleasure. I haven't been able to engage in a while on many levels, in person or on the show, and I want to make sure I took some time this morning to join in.
Well, I am so glad that you had a chance to do that. Look, mighty spiffy there this morning. All righty now. Amandilo just left, and he was just talking about you, too. He had a funeral to attend to this morning.
Who's that, Tony?
Amandilo.
Oh, okay.
Amandilo.
Okay.
Yeah, I was asking everybody to introduce themselves and how they became affiliated with the Higher Learning Network, and he was just telling us how he met you at an event. You were both out filming, and you told him about the program.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, there was I don't know. We were at the studio, and I helped out on the show, and I think that's how I got started. I can't remember. It's been a while back now. It wasn't yesterday. It wasn't like last week. It's been. What's this? This is 2021. I think it was like. I want to say 2001 or 2000 or something like that. It's been when I first started. Not every day, every project. But if I'm not right, help correct me. But I do remember it going back some years now.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and I don't know exactly how many minutes it's been. But it's been a minute.
Right. And it's been a joy, and every project has been enlightening and a level, a higher level of engagement and making people aware. And so I've always been proud and happy to be a part of the Higher Learning Network.
Well, it has certainly been very rewarding for me to have assistance in this project, because I had no idea it would grow to what it is today. You think this little bitty show, no big deal. But no, when the universe steps in and you got a mission, you're just following through on the mission. It ain't about you and your name and who you are and all that kind of stuff. It's about work.
Right.
It needs to be done.
Right.
We need sustainability in our communities.
Yeah.
They kill us left and right, from head to toe, from food to what we wear, where we live, where we socialize, everything. So we, as a people, as a community, as part of the village, it's our responsibility.
Yes.
So thank you, gentlemen, for being responsible for taking the initiative to do the work, because not everybody wants to do the work.
It is work. Some
people just want the praise, but they don't want the work. Some people just want to be out there in it. Like the people who showed up at the White House just to say I was a part of that history. It was chaos, but they were a part of history. So, Fred, I'd like you to share with us what's been your most rewarding and has been your most challenging experience.
Well, you know what? I can't use the term rewarding yet. I mean, in this one particular category, and that category is transferring these cassettes, these old school cassettes, through my computer to get the best audio possible. Now, once I can get past that would definitely be rewarding.
But you're doing it.
But I'm not where I want to be. I want it to be better than that. You know, so
So
I'm working towards that.
So are you saying that there's room for growth?
Oh, definitely.
And
Always.
you're growing.
Always. Yes.
And you're growing.
Yes. Yes.
And you're already established, but you continue to grow.
Right.
I want to pose a question to all three of you, the men of HLN. And let me say this again, because I see the numbers on here and I was expecting a call from a Judge Kelly. You ever heard of Judge Kelly, Keith?
No, not can't say that I have. I don't know what's his first name.
I think it's David L. Kelly. I'm not sure. Met him yesterday. I left the flyer in my bag. We played bid whist at DuSable Park. Shout out to my partner Vicky. We spanked booty yesterday, just all day long. I told you earlier, we spanked booty so hard. The lady who was playing is a regular. She just got up and left. She didn't say nothing. She just got up and left. Anyway, I digress. We were playing cards, and he said, "I'm sorry to interrupt, and I'm not going to interrupt. I just want to give you my card because I'm running for judge."
Okay.
And I said, "Yeah, you have been in the midst of some big play because you just don't come in. We're in the middle of a thought process, and you hit somebody a card to throw us all off. We ain't liking you already." So he said that before he gave us a card, so he was cool. And so he gave the card and left. I said, "Well, yeah, if you want to call in on the show tomorrow, we're talking about men in the community making a difference." So I hear an echo. Where is that coming from? Hear it too? That's another man. That's another man on HLN. I can't even get him. He's working so hard. I can't even get him to come stick his foot in the camera. Where am I hearing that echo from?
It's nothing. The phone connection, is it?
And I don't have another window open, so it's not me. So I don't know what it is. Anyway, you want to stick your head in the camera and say hi, honey? You'll come say hi to the people. Come on, yeah. So challenges are what make us grow. Keith, even though you are no longer with us, I should take that back. You may not be on staff here, but you're still with us because I had to call you not too long ago for an incident with the camera in which I did not know how to do. And I was like, okay, I need to know this. I know Keith has some experience, so let me call Keith. What was your? Yeah, that's Keith. He's right here.
What's up, Keith? Hey, what's really going on, T? You know what? I got something for you, for both of you, for the birthdays that I missed. I have not forgot about either one of you, and that's that. I mean, we'll talk about it later if that's okay.
Okay, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. You could come stick your head in the camera when you get through cooking your oatmeal. Just say hi to people. He always working behind the scenes. He my right hand. You don't see him in front of the camera, but he takes care of business. Trust me when I tell you.
Amen. Yeah.
Slave, I'm a laborer for her. Okay,
I do pay you. It's just not in money, honey. I give you love. I give you attention. I would lie and say I cook, but he the cook, so I can't tell that story. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my husband, Tony Hogue. He's also a man on HLN too. So I digress. What was the question that I asked you, Keith?
You start off by saying, well, since you're not a part of, but you are, because I asked you a question about the camera, and you were leading up into a question about. I don't know. We got off track. Started talking about something else. But it was like, you just wanted to ask me a question. I don't remember. I don't know what it is.
It'll come back to me. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And any of our callers have a question? 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. I am still trying to get this. I don't know what this is in my lungs. You sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Stuck in the. Okay, I guess I can see now. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see real good now. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak right now. If you have a man in your life who he don't even have to be in your life, who's making a difference in the community, feel free to type his name in the chat. We put it in there. All comments are live, or you can call in 515-605-9325. 9325. Press 1 to speak as we go to line. Why am I hearing this noise? You know what? I'm going to close every window on here. But let's go to the phone line. 773-593. You're live on the Female Solution. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's your comment?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Hi, who's this?
Good morning. This is David Kelly. I had the pleasure of meeting you yesterday.
Yes.
At Travel Museum. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I was wondering if you want to call. I forgot to get your number. I gave you ours, but I forgot to get yours. But anyway, thank you so much for calling. This is the brother that I was telling you about, guys. That's running for judge. He's already. Are you already a judge, sir?
I am. I was appointed by our second Black Supreme Court Justice Bill back in early July 9th to be exact. I am currently a judge. I'm sitting downtown at the Bailey Center. And but the thing is that I need to run to keep my seat. So I will be on the ballot June 28th, 2022. So next year, I'll be on your ballot.
Oh, you got started early. And what's that name again that we should be looking for?
David L. Kelly, the Black Irishman.
The Black Irishman. Okay, I thought. Okay, I like the fact you said the Black Irishman. Yes, Keith, one of our cameramen has a question. Go ahead, Keith.
So, I hear you say that you're already a judge.
Yes. I'm already a judge. I've been serving for, like I said, 3 months, well, 2.5 months to be exact. So I'm already currently a judge. But the way it works is, and I need to sort of be clear about this. So there are several ways to become a judge. One is, of course, to be quite elected by the people. And then, so you get on the ballot, vote for you, and then obviously the highest vote getter is elected judge. The second way is what they call an associate judge, and that's where the full circuit, meaning the judges who are elected by the people, get to select judges. That's the simplest way to say that. And then the third way is kind of the hybrid way, the way I became a judge, and that is to be appointed by the Supreme Court, the Illinois Supreme Court. So not only did Justice Bill appoint me, but all of the justices, all of the 7 justices actually appointed me, agreed that I should be a judge, and they appointed me to a vacancy. And so I was appointed to a vacancy here in the First Sub-Circuit, and so I have a term. So my term goes from July 9th to December, I think it's 5th of 2022. But in order to keep my seat, in order to keep serving the people, I have to be voted in. So that's the process I'm in now.
Okay, I got it. So you were appointed, and now that seat that you fill is up for you. You have to be elected in.
I have to be elected in the seat, exactly. So
right. And you said
judges, the only time there's vacancies, and so folks either retired judges either retire, or, they either die, or they're not retained, or they're not retained because those seats become available. And in my instance, the judge who had the before I had it was not retained by the voters.
Oh.
And so then the seat became available. Yes.
Okay.
So the real interesting thing is that he will likely come back to regain seat and attempt to regain a seat. I'm out here with the Congress to serve the people and be elected in June.
And what can you tell us in the past, Judge David L. Kelly, what have you done, in the words of Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? No, I'm just kidding. What have you done in the community that people can appreciate it so that they would go to the polls and elect you again?
Well, start off by one of the things that I enjoy most doing, and that is mentoring young people in the community. My wife, who I met in law school 20-some odd years ago.
What's her name?
Her name is Stephanie F. Selly.
Okay, Miss Stephanie.
20 years at the law school. She is also a attorney, and I tell folks I really have to give her much credit for my success today, because without her, if there's a chance I wouldn't be here doing the things that I do. She's a proud parent of twin boys, by the way. They're 11.5-year-old twin boys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So to answer your question, one of the things that she and I both have done throughout the years is mentor myself through the Mindfulness program, through a church, other organizations. One thing I'm particularly proud of is that one of my law school classmates was teaching at a local school here in the community. What she noticed was that there were no men, in particular black men, in the school at all.
Oh.
I don't even think, especially down to the maintenance, they were not even black. And so what she did is she asked a number of her black men friends to meet up with young black boys in the school and to mentor them. So, I linked up with the young man named Silas, I won't say his last name, in the 3rd grade, and mentored him through elementary, high school, and all the way to college. And we still remain very good friends to this day. He's now 27 years old. In fact, he completed my coroner ceremony. So that's one thing. I think mentoring is very important. Again, I have judicial mentors. I think that mentoring is really one of the keys to success. I think I've heard about that. I'm also one of the founding members of the legal clinic at my church, and that's the Apostolic Faith Church, Dr. Forrest Smith, at 39th in Atlanta. So every second Saturday of the month, we have a legal clinic where folks can come in and consult with us about various legal issues. And then what we do is occasionally able to refer them out. Unfortunately, now that as a sitting judge, I'm no longer able to do that, but I am part of the Illinois and we're in fact with that as we speak for judges, calling it judges of the community. Where we're going to have an open forum to talk about the various practices or areas of law where we sit and what people should be able to expect when it comes to this program. I'm also been involved here locally in the 4th Ward with Alderman King. I chaired the development committee. And so what that does is, I try to identify commercial and retail developers and track them to our local area and clean up some of these big that we have in the area. Also, to try to encourage affordable housing for folks. Folks are being priced out of our community. It's nice to have, $600,000-$700,000 homes, but everybody can't afford that. Nobody wants to be house poor, so to speak. So we've been working closely with all of them to try to create some ideas around affordable housing.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. We need you to go on and on because that's important.
I could go on and on. I serve as the Cook County board, Cook County Bar Association, which is the biggest bar and I sort of serve on the board of directors, and then we do all kinds of things. We do a punishment summit. So when folks, have things on their records that need to clear up, well, we participate as lawyers and now as judges in those summits with folks who come and for little to no cost get their records cleaned up and cleared up so that they can be employable and actually, able to seek housing. A lot of times, in places, if you have felony evictions or convictions on your record, you can't seek subsidized housing. I've done that. I've participated in real estate seminars. I have a background in real estate. I just recently participated as a judge in a driver's license expo, where again.
Did we just lose him? I think we may just have lost Judge David E. Kelly, but it's very encouraging to hear of the work that he's doing in the community. I love the fact the legal clinic and the expungement summits, because now see, these are the things that we need to know, because we think that we people who don't hold offices, that we have no power. And that's the furthest thing from the group. And I may have lost him. 4, 3. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. He's there. Judge Kelly. 773. Yeah, I did lose him. So is this him calling back? 773-593. Judge Kelly, are you still there? Okay. We'll take other callers as soon as you can. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. We all know some men in the community, and men particularly who look like me don't necessarily get the credit they deserve. We wait until people die and give them flowers. Why are we gonna do that? You can't smell them. You can't enjoy them. So I'm letting you know right here, right now, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you too.
That's what no folks say. I appreciate you. Even if you're not with us, you're here physically. You're here with us spiritually, emotionally. So I appreciate you and the work that you do. What do you say to the young people who are watching you, who are coming up and not quite sure what they want to do? What are some of the rewards of being a videographer and editor? Tell us a little bit about that.
You have the ability to shape and to get out your message to the people, and it's not defined by somebody else.
Ooh, say
and
that.
You know what? And that is very important, because with MSNBC and Fox Television and CNN, they are the gatekeepers that want to suppress stories that could impact somebody's lives, and stories that are told that would not get told in ordinary circumstances, not just from the individual in the front of the room, but the back of the room.
Yes.
See, I'm one of the individuals, to all y'all listening, I'm one of the individuals who used to be in the back of the room. So that's why I identify, and their stories they have stories to tell too.
Say that. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Am I back on 773-593? And Naima, I see you doing something here. 773-593. Your mic is open. I think that might be the judge, Judge Kelly. Maybe his mic is muted because I can't hear him. The audience can't hear him. Unmute your mic. 773-593. While we're waiting on him to respond, I posed the question to my other videographers too, Keith. And
well, one thought. I mean, there are many rewards to be a videographer, editor, and of course, Clifton touched on a really good one, if not the main one of the main ones. But it also it makes me think of the fact that when we were, I can't say we were asked to come here from our motherland. When we got here, they did not want us to learn. They didn't want us to learn. They didn't want us to congregate. So we were not able to effectively as much as we wanted to. We couldn't able to legally, if I could, or with risks of life, we weren't able to disseminate our information on a grand scale from coast to coast, or like with the internet from around the world. We were not able to do that sort of thing. We were like, ideally you had to be quiet. You couldn't say nothing. You couldn't think. You couldn't show evidence that you were thinking, let alone having a thought that you could share with your other colleagues and family and community, and develop your community by way of sharing this information. It was unheard of, and if you attempted to do it, from what I understand, although I wasn't there, from what I understand, you can lose your life. Yeah. So now we're doing it. We have to make up for that lost time. We're trying to get the word out there, to the higher learning. Higher learning is like higher the institution of learning, of going up a notch or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 in your learning process, and then able to disseminate what you've learned, and able to that your community will develop and learn as a community too, and so that we're all on the same page, and that we're unified, we're loving one another because we're in this together, and we're able to communicate. And before we couldn't talk our native tongue. We had to stop. It wasn't Kunta Kinte. It was Toby. So now we can say what our names are. You know, and say it on a loud scale, make you want to holler, make you want to scream. James Brown, say it loud. I'm proud. You know, so it is a glorious time, and that's what you can do that with videography. You can get your message out, as Clifton was saying, and tell your story, tell our story. You know, and which is what is done on the Underground Railroad, which is done on Higher Learning Network, and the things that the three of us, especially the two of you, are doing is definitely getting the word out. And for me, the rewards, I get to meet judges who then I can have a discussion with, who can then change law, well, not change laws, but implement laws fairly. I mean, there was a time that laws were there, but they weren't implemented fairly. So you get to engage people like Luther Vandross, as I did with the Higher Learning Network. You get to, and now he's made his transition, but you can engage people who are power brokers and people who make changes in our community, and you engage. They impact you, you impact them, and oh, what a wonderful world we live in. You know, so let's just keep up the good work. Yeah.
You've come a long way.
That is powerful. Thank you so much for that, Keith. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. We got to take our last break, so just hold on, and we'll be right back and take your calls from the switchboard. So just hold your horses. And why can't I not hear this? Is my audio up? I know it is.
Pulled away in chains and held captive in a foreign land where they are tortured.
Yeah, Keith, you great at what you do, bro.
Hard labor by the
And so are you,
lash
Preston.
and under the constant threat of death. Slavery, the African American psychic trauma. What happened to the doctors, writers, scientists, builders, educators, and spiritual leaders from Africa's golden age? Who did they really capture and sell into slavery? Are all African Americans suffering from psychic trauma because of a conspiracy to hide their true identities? Do you have psychic trauma? Take the test on page 22 of the book and see. Order it online today at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. And get your personally autographed copy of the book, Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma.
I'm Beata, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my 3-step protocol to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Beata.
And rising, we're back with our last 30 minutes right here on the Female Solution, and our executive producer Naima Latif is bringing up Judge David L. Kelly at 773-593. Naima, can you pull up the judge, please? I hear music in the background, but I don't hear anybody else, in the microphone is open. 773-593. I think that's the judge, isn't it? Oh, open the. Oh, nope. I lost him again because that's Lois. They'll call back because I know he said he had court case or something at 8:30. It's 8:34. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But you were talking, Keith, about the experience, and Clifton, you go ahead right ahead. And that experience is everything. Go ahead, Clifton.
I got a quick shout out to Naima Latif and her husband. They were one. Husband was a wonderful person, and
Yes,
I want
it
to
was.
say, I want to tell everybody a secret. Everybody love to hear secrets. You know what? Once upon a time, 10 years ago, I was gonna get a studio, and the very man that's next to me on the screen, Keith McDonald, he was going to be the head of my technical, anything dealing with technical computer work, television. He was going to be the head of my studio. So I have much respect for Brother Keith.
Oh wow!
That was 10 years ago. I could tell a secret now, right, Keith?
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for
things just didn't materialize.
Yeah, it happened.
Name Sultan Latif. Wasn't that his name? Sultan. I think his name.
Sultan.
Sultan.
Yeah.
Was that his name?
He was no. His name was Sultan. I thought it was Sultan, but it was Sultan something. Latif, like his first name
was Sultan, and me and his sister, we worshipped at the same place.
Okay. Nice guy. Very nice.
Mr. Naim. Yes. And her husband Sultan. Very intelligent people.
Yes, Mama AZ, can you hear us now?
Unfortunately, he's headed to the bench, so he can't chat. But you're always welcome to let him know he's welcome to come back.
Can you hear us now?
Naima is on the line, and she doesn't know that I can hear her. But anyway, let's finish this conversation until they. Mama AZ, all the lines are open. We can hear everybody this morning.
Right. I wanted to ask
they don't know. I've got to close the microphones. I don't know why all the microphones are open. So let's just forget.
Thinking music stop. Great. Okay.
Okay, so I'm trying to close. I don't know why all the microphones were open. I am trying to close them all because we can hear them. As well. Now they're off. Don't ask me. Technical difficulties. It's Monday morning. That's what happens. I'm used to it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Early
Monday morning.
My last question was something about what do you tell the youth who are out there on their phones and taking videos and posting them? What do you say to the young people today who are posting information that really does not help the community? What do you say to them, and how can they move forward in posting information that will help us grow the village, to move forward, to be better people than cussing people out? This is one comedian, I love it. Okay, Fred. There's one comedian, I think his name is The Funeral Director. And he makes light of everything, all the craziness that you see. And he comes on by saying, all of the words begin like with a letter, he'll say, excuse me for using this, but this was the last one that I saw. They were at a funeral and the lady was in church with a see-through outfit on, which you could see her rear end. You could literally see her rear end. So he was like, what in the big Bertha butt funeral home, something, he said. And I just, he's hilarious. Don't ask me how that came to mind. I told y'all I digress sometimes. But there are things that people are just filming, especially our youth and adults too. We're just filming things that just do not raise the consciousness or elevate us as a people to where we see ourselves in a positive light. What can we do about that, Fred? Before you go.
You caught me off guard with that one. You totally caught me off guard with that.
Well, okay. You totally caught me off guard with that one.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like Cliff wants.
Cliff, go ahead, Cliff.
You know what? answer to that is foolishness, but you know what? That is the developmental stage that they are. So if they continue to doing what they're doing, they will evolve and come to the realization, I can create something more concrete than that. And I have to sit back and watch the young people, because I started out with a little camera doing foolish things myself.
Okay.
But they will evolve as they develop in their stage of development. So, I can't knock them because they're just not on my level. Not that my level is great, but they will evolve.
So for me, if I could, I think, there is really something very, very.
Oh, and his audio just froze.
Okay.
Men on Higher Learning, that is Keith McDonald speaking. And he just froze. So while he's froze, I can tell you to go to my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. There's lots of information on there, and especially those who are listening now. If you have a cell phone and you have more than 5 apps on it, you got too many. And why do I say that? Because we had a brother, Rafiki Kai, on last week talking about, what happened to my phone? People can't hear me. Okay, I've muted my mic. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'll tell you about it later. Go ahead, Keith.
Okay, I hear some music, but
I do too.
Okay, so the thing of it is, what Clifton said was really important, because you have to let a child grow. Not trying to force them to do something. It doesn't always, it doesn't come out that good, or the desired effect that a person, an adult or parent would want. But I think, as the question was, what do I do? What do I offer a youngster, and how they make? What do I offer them to make their decisions, or how they make the decisions to do this or that? And so I think what I've practiced, and my thought is that, well, if you continue to do this right here, this will happen, because now you may develop in your thought, but the people that who are viewing your stuff, where are they at? I mean, so everybody doesn't develop at the same speed.
No.
I got some people who are 55 years old, they think they're acting like they're 12. And all due respect. And so I'll say, well, if you continue to do this, this is what will happen. To yourself and to the olds who are watching you. And sometimes when you do some stuff, people will remember what you did 50 years later when you go to that high school reunion, or to that family reunion, to that community reunion, and they remember what you did back then. So now you have to live with that. Now you can't blame nobody else, because that's what you did back when. But I would also, I tell them two things. This is what happens if you do continue to do what you're doing. However, if you do this over here, this is the long-term effect. It's up to you now to make the choice, youngster. Now someone has taken the time. I think y'all forgive me, I think it's biblical that once you know better, then you are held accountable. If you don't know better, then and some parents, some in the court of law, it's like ignorance of the law is no excuse. So you're gonna do the time. But for the most part, but if I try to share them, here's what happens if you continue to do this. In the long term, this is what happens if you do this, and give them a picture on the difference of the two, and now they have to make a decision. So if they continue to do what they're doing, then you just understand that's where they're at. But at least I did what I could do. I mean, I can't put them in jail, I can't arrest them, I can't lock them up in the basement, can't drop them from a helicopter. I know those are all horrible things. I'm just saying I can't do any degree. I can't force them to do anything. And there's no, I'm not gonna. I don't advocate for, overdoing the trying to make somebody do it. I don't. It ain't gonna happen.
Go ahead.
I would like to say something that even though what the young person is doing, they are evolving. I have seen somebody shoot something on an Apple. I'm talking about on an Apple phone. That's how good the clarity is.
Mhm.
They're using Facebook, which I never thought of. And you ever notice the way they send messages to each other and they gather and there's hundreds of them? They're using a technology that we don't utilize like this, because they are evolving to a different level. That's why probably not that many people look at canned television like they used to, because they're using Facebook, they're using YouTube, and they can use their phones, their iPhones, to make better pictures, sometimes better than what the camera that I have. You know?
I never thought about that. And how did you know that many people are not watching cable TV as they used to?
By the telephone calls. If you put in a telephone, if you're doing a live show and you don't get a lot of telephone calls, each call represents 1,000 or 10,000 people, so you're not getting the telephone calls that you used to. Although there are no Arbitron ratings to prove that. Arbitron ratings are what you get in television to tell how many people are watching, but people are not calling in like they used to. So that means the audience has been taken away. So many different options out there. There's 1,000 channels you can go to. So that's how I know.
Okay.
So I think this is an opportune time to say how we miss people like Boise.
Oh yeah.
How we miss people, and sometimes you agree with some of the producers, sometimes you don't. But how we miss
Munir Muhammad.
Right, Munir Muhammad and others who would do, because when people would look at Can TV, they see a live show talking about things in the community on Underground Railroad, on I Had to Say It, on Muhammad and Friends. So there was always a live show all the time that engaged the community. And so now with a lot of them gone, they don't come down anymore. One person trying to doing the live thing with great messages, is already a number of people who says, well, I can't turn in as often as I used to be able to, and so now I don't tune in as much as I used to either. So those calls go down. But then again too, social media has made its mark. I mean, you can't deny it. It's a powerful tool. We're using it right now, as a matter of fact. But I think we started doing this because of COVID. Because when COVID hit, Zoom and StreamYard they skyrocketed.
Just took off.
Right. So we can stay at home and do what we got to do and what we've been accustomed to doing. But there is something to be said about learning proper camera composition, proper lighting, proper audio, because you can have a good message, and if you don't present it to people properly, they're like, oh, they don't want to, so it helps. Right. I'm sorry. It helps to have good lighting, good audio, good camera composition.
I was just being an example of bad footage. Somebody's talking in their ears, like, okay, you need to see them. You don't need to see their forehead. You need to see their face. You don't need to see it cut off. Yeah, so
right, that sort of thing.
See, one of the bad things about canned television, television comes on in Chicago. It ought to be able to come on like it comes on Channel 9 or Channel 7, because the average person don't even have cable no more. The average person. But if you got big money, it ought to be able to come on like it comes on WGN. Not the way you have to pay to have a subscriber to come on to watch canned television.
Right.
That's wrong.
Right.
You have to pay to watch Can TV?
Yes, you do. You have to have cable. You have to have Wow. You have to have AT&T.
That's paying.
But the thing is, you don't pay for cable. I mean, Can TV, you pay for the cable. Anytime you buy a cable package, you get Can TV for free.
Okay, what I'm saying is,
you gotta pay.
I should be able to watch it without paying for any of the services.
I agree with you.
I'm talking about, like, I got an antenna. I ought to be able to turn to that channel without paying for a service.
You're absolutely right.
Well, I think the history of television in that it was only, like, back in the day, you all know, it was just three channels. Well, that music is kind of loud.
5, 7,
It was ABC, NBC, CBS, and WGN. That was it.
5 channels. That was it.
That was it. And so in order to get on those channels, you had to take a FCC 1 license, FC2 license, FC3. And if you wanted to get on, you had to go to a small town like Paducah, Kentucky, before you could get into a major market like Chicago. And so KTV came around and said, hey, it's a non-for-profit organization. We're not supposed to compete with the commercial folks as far as advertising and stuff. And so here's an opportunity. Let's try that. Well, they do it at a local level. So every municipality throughout the country had the opportunity to have a CAN TV. Some of them, their legislators didn't tell them, I guess, because some of them didn't know. They didn't get one. We got one. And with what we had and what limitations that were given to us, to those who brought it, and it wasn't, I don't think, limitations to hold us back. It was limitations in that it was something new. It was nothing else like CAN TV when it came around, and so they had these baby legs, just they were infant. It was in its it's still in its infancy if you really think about it, because the other stations have been around 2, 3 times as long. And so these are things that we had to deal with. And so given that we continue to support CAN TV, we can broaden. As a matter of fact, we were about to broaden a couple of 2 or 3, at least twice, 2 different times, but politics got in the way. And we went down to City Hall, we went down to Springfield, and so it's a community station. The other stations are commercial. That's the thing. Other stations have big, and then some more big bucks.
Unlimited budgets.
Okay.
Unlimited budgets.
But you know something? All I'm saying is there's an audience that is being left out that is not afforded. I have the capital to have to purchase a subscriber for cable television. That's all I was saying.
So okay. Yeah, and so with the basic package, I think it's like $20, but still that's not it don't matter. Some people don't have $20.
No, some people don't have it. Yeah.
I'm at to borrow something for you all later on today. So
Oh,
but
these wise
but here's the thing too. It has always been you had to pay. It was like it came in, you didn't have to pay, and then it changed. So since day one, since 1983, when CAN TV cable came to Chicago, you had to pay for cable, but you got CAN TV for free. You had to pay for, like you do for TNT or HBO. It came along with the basic package. So you've always had to pay for CAN TV.
Well, I'm going to say something. Right. You know what? But the economy has changed, and there are a lot of people. Although we may have the money, but there's a multitude of people out there that don't have that type of capital to pay for any type of
right. And if you ask me, I mean, throughout Reagan years and what's going on with COVID, a lot of people ain't got the money today. I mean, all the people who are laid off right now, all the people who have lost businesses that they own. Let's say, especially the black ones in this case for me. So a lot of people really don't have money now. Right. So I get it. So the step to address it, I think, is to address our have a think tank amongst us that we meet and talk about how we could address this. Of course, I think we'll need to have the help of legislators, like our congressmen, especially our congressmen, because CAN TV is a federally monitored entity. It's a federal, public access is a federal thing. And now each city has some say-so in it, but public access was established by way of the federal government. And when Reagan got in, he said those stations around the country who, if you haven't started yet, you ain't gonna get started because my friends ain't gonna pay for it. At least that's what I heard. That's what I heard. Right.
Vieta Robinson, our sister of the microphone, comes on Friday mornings and Saturday evenings, says, do we need cable and or TV? It's way too much brainwashing. That's all TV is.
No. I mean, it's brainwashing, but you have the right to turn the channel.
And
you can turn to Fox Television. You can
personalities, and you don't change the channel, and they know that, and they purposely take advantage of that. Let's try to get this last call in. 336-350. You're live on the Female Solution. Grand Rising. What's your name? Where you calling from? Is that Mama AZ? 336-350. Is your mic open? I mean, your mic is open. Are you muted? Well, your mic is open. I'll close it and open it again, and you just join in whenever you can. For lack of a better word, I don't want to call it brainwashing. I'm going to call it what it is, because in radio and in television, we both know that there are departments that handle exactly what we're talking about. It's called programming. We program what we want you to hear. We program what we want you to think. We program what we want you to eat. We program what you need to wear. We program what you need to drive, where you vacation, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So some call it brainwashing. In media, we call it programming. And go ahead.
I just want to cite Byron Allen just put in a lawsuit. I forget how it ended. If you remember, Byron Allen was he was a TV host, and this is to the point of what Clifton is making, that there are those out there who do not want there to be us. Because if you look at KTV, you see mostly us.
Yes.
And even though we're trying to develop, like we started off talking about how we try to develop our community and express ourselves and tell our story, there are those out there who don't want us to do what we do in that fashion. So Byron Allen took a major media company to court, and for big, I mean, really big, I mean, huge dollars, and they had to stop and listen and respond. I just don't know how that has turned out. I think it's over with now. It may not be, but he was saying something that addressed the mindset, like what Clifton was sharing, and those of us too who say, well, whenever we go to do something, there is this big wall that wants to stop us from doing what we're doing, and it's not fair. And so I hope I said that right. And
you did
within legal guidelines. But so yes, there is that sort of thing is very common, even on a larger scale in media, where there are those in certain communities that are disenfranchised, that are not, and nobody's saying, well, we know you're disenfranchised, let's help you out. Now can't be said we may not be able to get you all the way there, but at least we get you some part of the way. You'll be better than what you were before, but you're not right. You're not past a goal line or past a certain goal line yet. But it's not. It ain't just CAN TV, but point is made. It is. You do have to pay, and then again, there's this thing called the digital divide. Well, a lot of people don't even have the ability to have cable. Don't have the ability to have cable, and then and so and then you have to pay for it, and then get the. So I'm not. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm adding on to what Clifton has said. I agree with him 100%. And with that, just give us some color to it, because these kind of conversations have to happen so that we can do better with what we have before it's gone. Because if the membership at CAN TV has dropped, if the studio reservations have dropped more than 50% and more than it was, say, 10 years ago, if checkout of cameras have dropped more than 50%, viewership has dropped more than 50%, at some point, the thought is CAN TV gonna drop. Right. So we want to keep it because it does serve a purpose, and for those who can access it to put programming on and watch it. Hopefully that community, we want to keep that ability to do that, to communicate with the community. However, if things keep going as they want, we won't have anything. Right. So let's do what we can with what we have, and then try to find a way to make it better where people can get past the $20 or whatever. I think it's $20 basic rate, but nowadays $35 might be the basic rate. I don't know. So
depending on what cable company you're with.
Right. True that.
515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak right now. I'm going to the phone lines to try to get some calls before we're off the air. 706-202. You are live on the Female Solution Grand Rising. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 706-202, you're live on the Female Solution. I'll be playing the music in the background, but pay it no attention.
60 seconds.
That's our closing. Play that no attention. Beata says, yes, Think Tank sounds like a good replacement for TV. I don't know what's going on. 706-202, is your mic open? You are live on the Female Solution. And we are waiting to hear your comment. I believe that is Baba Kwame Sunhorse in Georgia, I believe it is. In the meantime, while we're trying to figure out, maybe Baba, you can give me a call. And we'll take it that way before we go off, because this is not working.
And if I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I had to go do some jazz yesterday. Jazz is a cultural expression that we have. You don't hear jazz, the kind of jazz we grew up on. Mingus can't give his last name. All the ones, Dizzy Gillespie. You know, we don't hear that kind of jazz anymore. And so a lot of our genre of media of entertainment. No, there's no Nikki Giovanni anymore. Well, there's good spoken word artists out there, but the music has changed. There's a difference. So sometimes some things are here for a season, and then you have to do as best you can with it. We're here. Human beings are here for a season. You do the best you can with what you got, and then things will change. So let's not forget that change is part of nature. We have 4 seasons in Chicago. Some people only have 2 or 1, but we have 4 for real. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. And we're about to embark on spring tomorrow, as a matter of fact. It's fall. First day of fall is tomorrow, as best I understand it. So there's change. There are things that are going to be in your life for a while, and then they're gone. And so I think we have to do the best we can with what we have at this moment.
I want to thank you for that, because that was a powerful message that we needed to hear. If you just joined in, you're listening to Men of HLN. Grand Rising. We have Baba Kwame Sunhorse on the line. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
And I'm very grateful, because I'm getting ready to pack up. It's pouring down rain in Georgia, standing here on the stolen land of the Muscogee Creek, and I'm getting ready to hit the road again. But I saw the topic and I was like, man, you're always picking what we need to hear in the community, because a man, and to be looking at the men that are in our community, how do we make another nation? That's what man stands for, to make another nation. We need those men that are willing to do the work to balance with the women, because the wombs is what produces the children. And we have to be supportive providers and protectors of that. And this is what the challenge is, because this is a new era. This full moon in Pisces that's going to rise again tonight is a shifting in the spirit, and it's a shifting. We're leaving Pisces and Virgo era, and we're coming into the Aquarius age. So there's a great shift that's happening in our solar system, in our galaxy, and in our planet. So men have to be willing to do what is necessary to help in this change, because the women are going to produce. They've always been producing. Is how we stay in each era. So it's a challenge now, and I just came back from a conference on well-briety and looking at recovery and the intergenerational trauma. And if you listen to Beata's show last night, we're going back to our indigenous roots.
Yes.
And looking at how do we work with nature, because we need to start the overground railroad. Harriet Tubman was the woman that started the underground. We have to begin the overground, because what's over us is our solar system and our Milky Way and our Creator. And so what we have to begin to do is reconnect to that and create oases in these deserts of metropolitan and colonized areas, is to create oases, which stands for our ancestors' spirits and service. Because our ancestors are still here on this earth. Their spirits are here to help us, but we have to because we were urbanized and disconnected because you're banned is what urban spells. You're banned from your mother, which is Mother Earth and nature. So it's a challenge, and those men that are in overstanding and knowing how to provide these energies and help to protect this growth and change are needed. And we've got to look at how do we make the boys into men, because they got a plan for the boys, because what we're having is a new addiction, and that's those smartphones, iPads, and
Yes.
that. Because what did that woman do to her son there in Chicago last week? She killed her son over a SIM card.
Okay.
A SIM card.
Oh yeah.
Taking a child's life because of a piece that goes into a phone.
Right.
Now, that's you know, but that shows just how serious this is. So I thank you, Zelda, for having this topic, and we need to have more of it. This is what the female solution does, is it gives us a way to talk about ways in which we come up with solutions.
Yes.
We know the problems. They make sure we know that through media.
Yes.
But what are the solutions?
Amen.
And this is what your show does. Thank us.
Thank us. And that's the voice of Baba Kwame Sunhorse, all the way from Georgia, a faithful listener who calls in and shares his words of wisdom. So we greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Baba. If anyone would like to, I would like for you to give us some closing thoughts, Clifton, and then Keith.
First of all, it's an honor to be on your platform, and Brother Keith, and you astute people, and I'm glad to be associated with people that have like minds when it comes to media, and do a television show. If I could give that plug, please.
Yes, please.
I do a television show in Chicago that comes on it comes on Can Television, Comcast. Okay, but it comes on at 10:30, and we talk about conspiracies, New World Order, again, coaches, and I'm more interested in, like, even, not the person in front of the room, the person in back of the room, because you know what? They have stories to tell because they don't get the opportunity to talk under normal circumstances. And I'm interested and I'm inquisitive. And that's why I ask these questions. Not only will you learn, I'm learning. It's like I'm sitting in class. Okay. And if I interview a Congressman Danny Davis, he wouldn't pay any attention to me under normal circumstances because of the forum that I have. But I am interested in the person that's sitting in the front, but properly in the back of the room, because they have stories. And I thank you for the opportunity and want to extend that to Miss Zelda. I always reciprocate when an individual gives me the opportunity to come on their forum. It's called reciprocation. I want to extend that same courtesy, not just privately, but publicly. Thank you.
All right. And thank you, my brother. Could not do it without you. It takes a team.
Thank you, Mal.
As you guys all notice, I'm a man of few words, but I want to thank you for having me on, and I appreciated it. And on another term of being in the back room, I sat in the back room today, and I sucked up some of the information I got from you guys, you experienced editors. Because I haven't worked with CAN TV in over 20 years on a program called Bible Speak. And it still exists, but CAN TV has kind of, like you said, Keith, is, dwindling a little bit. But I appreciate it being on the show. Thank you very much, Zelda, and you guys.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming back and signing out and letting us know that you are still with us, even though you went by the wayside. We appreciate that. And we appreciate the work that you do. So always know that everything that you do is important. It may not seem like it, the tape don't mean nothing to you, but somebody needs to hear that. Amen. So thank you for taking the time, for having the patience and the energy to do that. So we appreciate you.
I would just like to take this time real quick to say to those who are aspiring to do what we've been doing, or to aspiring to be into this medium, into this occupation, or into this way of life, and to those who are maybe already out here doing it, may have done it before we even started doing it, and they're still doing it. Be mindful that we are able to impact minds. We are able to shape thought and perception. It's a very powerful medium, and we cannot take it lightly. I think Clifton said on one phone call, it represents 10,000 people. So that's just one phone call. And some shows like we did back in the day, 10 years ago, let's say, you could get 20, 30 calls. So you multiply that by 10,000 each one. So we have the ability to, and then some things we put on social media that gets shown around the world, and it just stays there, just somebody clicks it. So we have to make sure that we as a people, we as human beings, don't give googly glop, because then the world around you will become googly glop, and then it'll be mass chaos. It'll be what's that thing, that purge? It'll be mindful. It is such a powerful medium. This thing we call video, radio, and print even. But print, of course, newspapers aren't like they used to be. But people read books still, believe it or not. Even if they have audio, the book. So be mindful that when we put things out here, we're not just talking to one person. We're talking to a multitude of people, and those people are listening.
Yes.
And they're taking in what it's saying, and they get these images,
Yeah.
and we're able to shape minds. And sometimes we do it on purpose. Sometimes we don't even know that we're doing it. But I think we should all be very aware right here, frontal lobe thinking, right at the front of our thoughts, that whatever I put out on this medium, there are going to be children, there'll be adults, but there are so many people. There's a community. There's a whole new world of people listening to what we're saying. And we are encouraging how they think, how they mold their brain. You know, they say when a baby is born, the mother will shape the head by rubbing it, just shaping it, just keep rubbing it and massage it, and then it will shape a certain way. So we're shaping brains, we're shaping minds, we're shaping things, we're shaping people's mindset on how they're going to do things tomorrow, later on today, 5 years from now. So we have to be very, very careful on what we put on these airwaves and on these cable lines and on these broadcasts. Anything that we do that goes out to be disseminated. And so then it's also the individual when we talk to them. But right now, my point is the multitude of people who we encourage, whether we know it or not. And we know that Fred is new to what the Bible speaks. I mean, you had a big audience. I mean, because I remember seeing the title, if I don't still see it to this day. Zelda has a huge audience. So does Clifton. And I've got some followers. I mean, you know, I got 1 or 2 or 3, but still, though. And then the ones that see the program go off and tell other people at the dinner table with family, in the barber shop, in the beauty salon, on the bus, in the car, on the next video time that they say, well, I can reference the show that I just saw. So please, for me or for yourself, I don't know. This is my perspective. It may be I may be the only one. I don't think so. But I just wanted to share that point. That's all. And I want to say thank you to the Bible Speaks, to Underground Railroad, and to the Zelda enterprise of media, because they have all put out the good news.
Yes.
And sometimes the bad news is good for us to know the bad news, so that way we don't about the chip fight, killing somebody over a chip, your own child, over a chip, over a little SD card. So we need to hear that, because that's good news for us to hear, to understand what's going on out there. You want to know what's going on around you. And this ain't too far from us. I think it was in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So, you know, you might meet her or her sister, you know, somebody with the same mindset walking down the street today, or driving in the car next to you. So just I want to say thank you to the 3 of you for the shows that you have done, because they've been good news. They weren't just googly glop stuff just put out there and melt a brain or warp good thinking. Thank you. And with that, I'll keep coming back. How about that?
Now this is the one. This is the one to think right here.
Thank you.
Of the microphone, executive producer Naima Latif. Shalom. Welcome, my sister, with the after show.
Assalamualaikum and peace.
Shalom.
Welcome to all of you all. I'm so grateful for this wonderful show today. And many of you, of course, I've worked with, been on Clifton's shows, and he's done a fantastic job. And of course, Keith is like a rock. You know, if you are trying to do some excellent productions, that's somebody that you know is going to do a fantastic job and highly professional. And Fred, welcome to the Female Solution Global Radio TV show here on the Higher Learning Network.
Thank you. My pleasure meeting you.
Well, it's exciting to hear all the things that you all have said, because these are the times when what we're really participating in is mind wars. And we're fighting for the ability to influence thought. And we know, like Keith was saying, you know, you have the people that are putting out the news and the information that can either bring you down, and then you have the people who are putting out information that can lift you up, that can enlighten you, that can inspire you. So those of us who have taken on this medium, we know that we have influence. And nowadays, everything comes right to you on your cell phone. So people who have subscribed to the Higher Learning Network, whenever she goes live, it pops up on their phone, you know, and so we're instantly communicating with people. And
change the channel. Change the channel. If you don't like what you see, that's what Vieta says. Change the channel and get more advertising from big pharma and consumerizing addiction. Yeah, we're all addicted to these platforms.
Yes.
Can't even turn our phones off at night. Scared we're gonna miss something.
Yeah, and it's like every second. So you have a choice of what you're going to put in your mind every moment of every day. You can choose the things that inspire you and motivate you and give you good news, or you can choose the things that distress you. And you should know that every time you get distressed and sad and angry, you lower your immune system.
Yes. Oh, they need to you need to say that again.
So you got to breathe. That's why you got to breathe. Do the breathing.
Deborah Smith says having the courage to engage those in the back of the room to come to the front.
Yeah.
Amen.
In response to your earlier comment, Clifton. Yes. So thank you for that. Thank you all for sharing that information here. I just wanted to say before you guys leave to share this video with someone, because this Saturday from 12 noon until 1 p.m. it is the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest, where contestants from all over the world, not just Chicago. I was so disappointed there were maybe one or two from Chicago, but they're all from all over the world. Our last winner was Najla from Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
The children are watching us.
They are
Listening, and we must be the example for them. So be sure and tune in this Saturday just to support them, just to vote for them. We'll be right here on I almost said the Female Solution Higher Learning Network. Oh, but the Female Solution will be on from 12 until 1 p.m. And I forgot to announce that too on Saturday. The first Saturday, nonviolent communication with Jana. So I guess I'll come on the show and announce it and then pop back over here. Second Saturday, what is the second Saturday?
Wendy is coming back. Wendy Williams. Relationships. Yeah, attorney Wendy Williams.
Attorney Wendy Williams, and she'll be talking about relationships. Boy, if you have not heard her shows, you in for a good one. That's all I got to say. Third Saturday is Travel with Deborah, Move Around with Deborah. She's our own travel agent right here at the Female Solution. Took us down to Florida. We had a wonderful time. So you need to move around with Deborah. I can't wait to go back, girl. And the fourth Saturday is Wisdom with Mama D. And on Sunday, it's Soul Purpose Healing. 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find out what time it is each and just know that. And then on Monday, we're right back here, Monday Morning Mindfulness. But until then, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the men of Higher Learning for doing the work that you do, to continue to do the work that you do, and continue to make a difference in the communities in which you live. And on that note, we thank you. And I think my husband is coming in here. My treat is lunch for a veggie Whopper. Is that what I'm supposed to announce?
Oh, sounds good to me.
Oh,
Yay.
me. Thank you, baby. Appreciate that. I'll be ready by
all us, Tony. Come on now.
Mama say you gotta treat her too. He says yes.
Do you know I know where y'all live? I will be.
He's sitting right out front. Where's my veggie burger? Where's my veggie burger? See, I told you, you may not see him on camera, but he's always behind. See, because we know we specialize in behind the scenes, don't we, y'all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. So what you see here, I hate to say it, but it's a lot of preparedness that goes into this. We just don't come on and do what we do and not have some preparation for it. I've seen those days, but even though that's how I learned in secular radio, show up and something will work right. Everything may not work right, but something's gonna work out.
Just
so
keep
thank you, fellas.
You're working. Yes.
Yes. So I want to thank you, fellas, for joining me this morning. Naima Latif is about to take over while I go get me some tea because I need something for this throat. So thank you so much. I will be in touch with each and every one of you. Okay. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to the next Men on HLN. We need to do this once a month, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's make it the 4th, if we can, the 4th Monday of every month. I'm gonna make it.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Because on Wednesday, the 4th Wednesdays, we're doing our men only discussions on the Wednesday show.
Oh.
And last week, we do a men's thing. That is great. Because there has to be a balance. We're not balanced without you. So
thank you. We need that. We need that male energy. We need that.
Yes.
So if you'd like to leave, you can. But if you don't, if you want to stay, you can. So it's entirely up to you. But right now, we're going to start the after show.
God bless everyone. I got to roll.
You get a blessing. You get a blessing. You get a blessing. And you get a blessing.
Yeah, I got to go too. I got a meeting I have to get to.
All right. Well, thank you, fellas. Appreciate you.
All right. Same here. Appreciate you.
Connection. All righty. Peace and blessings.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That is
all right. It's the after show with Naima Latif. I got to go get me some water, girl.
Well, we'll be here to keep talking because that's what I love to do.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, and we also have Baba Kwame Sunhorse on the line too, if he ever wants to chime in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So I got my that's 706 area code, right? Yeah. Okay.
But I've got him on my phone because for some reason or another I couldn't pull it up on the switchboard, so he's on my phone just so you know.
Oh, great.
And we're going to get some tea and water.
All right. Well, I'm definitely grateful for the men who were part of this discussion this morning. We have to keep reminding ourselves of the power that we have and the fact that the new technology has really changed the balance of power. We used to just think that if it wasn't on the big three, the big 4, 2, 5, 7, 9, ABC, NBC, CBS, and maybe WGN, and then later on was Fox. But the reality is the playing field has been leveled by the internet. And we now have the power to be just as influential in creating images as the major networks. And we just need to know this. Now, unfortunately, you have so many people that use this power to promote ignorant things, like he was saying, gobbledygook. You have people who will use the social media platforms to show somebody fighting or some, women tearing out each other's hair or just stupid things. And you have to ask yourself, when you get hypnotized into watching the worst kind of behavior, what is inside of you that's making you want to partake of that? It's just like if somebody gave you some food with dirt sprinkled on it. You wouldn't eat that. So why are you consuming garbage and dirt with your eyes, with your ears, with your soul? Why are you doing that? Because it does have the same impact of being toxic, being poisonous, being something that will make you sick, literally. Because it's true. Anything that you see that distresses you, you are energy vibrating. And the higher you vibrate, the more you will enter the realms of joy, of peace, of love. The lower you vibrate, the more you enter those realms of sadness, distress, despair, hopelessness. And when you lower your vibration, you open the door to sickness because you lower the energy of your immune system. So if you're worried about COVID, you can develop a spiritual immunity. And those of us who know, that's why we keep explaining to you that what you need to make yourself immune is not going to come through a needle. It's your own energy field, your own vibration, your own capacity to strengthen your body and make it immune to anything negative invading it. Now, anything can happen to change your mood before you realize it. But if you think about it, the last time you maybe caught a cold or caught the flu or had a cough, usually there was something happening. Either maybe you weren't sleeping enough hours to replenish your body's energy, or maybe you've been worried about something, or maybe somebody upset you, maybe you had a relationship breakup or a fight. But all of these things affect your energy and affect your health. So if you're worried about getting sick, keep your vibration high, which means keep only the positive, empowering information coming into you. Only consume those things that will keep your vibration high. And you can be spiritually immune to every illness. We're not made to be sick. We're made to be in perfect health. But everything we consume through all of our five senses affects that health. So when you have a medium like video, which is so graphic and recreating life, if you use it right, you can inspire people, you can inform people, you can educate people, you can empower people. But if you use it in a way that's destructive, showing the worst of human behavior, showing things that are upsetting, and how many people watch the murder of George Floyd over and over and over and over again? And I get it. We want to awaken people to stop racial profiling, race-based violence, police brutality. We want to stop those things. But there was a point when the playing of that video over and over and over again actually made you sick physically. And so did it really take playing that murder over and over again for us to get the point that we need to stop police brutality? And for some people, it actually was motivating them to commit acts of violence. So it wasn't helpful. So if we want to inspire peace, we have to show peace. If we want to inspire love, we have to show love. You can't inspire somebody to behave in a way that's loving and kind by showing them violence and hatred. If you want to be it, you need to see it. And that's the power that we have in the media, to show the images that we want people to emulate, not the things we don't want them to emulate. And for those who are worried about, well, if I don't know what's going on, if I don't know that there's violence, I can't protect myself, that is not true. Because truly, you're only going to attract to you that which you are vibrating in harmony of. So if you continuously are watching violence, watching robberies, murders, that's the vibration that you're existing on. That's what you attract to yourself.
Yep.
If you don't want it, don't keep indulging in it. Don't keep watching it. Don't keep digesting it. Don't keep thinking about it, because where you think is where your vibration is, and that's what you attract to you. If you want to be in peace and attract people who are peaceful, attract people who are kind, attract people who are considerate and compassionate, that's where you have to be vibrating. Those are the thoughts you have to be thinking. Those are the things you have to be watching on the screen that you have, whether you got a cell phone, whether you got an iPad, whatever you have that you're receiving visual and audio information, use it wisely so that it can keep your vibration high. Everything in your life, you have created it by the way you're vibrating. Every single thing you experience, you have created. You have brought it into your atmosphere. So choose what you want to experience. And if you don't like what you're experiencing, change your thought. Change your thought. That will change your vibration. That will change your experience. Now, we hear that all the time, but it doesn't matter if you hear it, if you don't, what is it, understand it. If you don't comprehend it from the inside, it's not going to affect you. You have to really comprehend it from the inside.
Amen.
And once you do that, then you seize power over your life. Then you begin to create the life you want. Then you begin to see the change. And the interesting thing is, we can all be living in the exact same physical space and be experiencing something totally different. Now, ask 5 people, well, tell me about Chicago. And you might get 5 different stories, same city, but different experiences. And it's not about how much money you have. It really isn't. But it's what you have on the inside of you that you're drawing to you. And I'm grateful to say, through all this pandemic, all of the street violence, all of this, that has not been my experience of Chicago at all. In this last 2 years, and for some people, these have been the worst 2 years ever. But for me, they've been the most peaceful. I've met wonderful people, strangers. We've had great conversations. I felt the most freedom. Even in all this restriction, I felt such freedom. I can go for a walk. I can enjoy the parks, the trees, the air, hear the birds. I've had the freedom to be at home and connect with people all over the world. And we all have these same freedoms, but it's how are you perceiving it? What is your inner world reflecting to you? If you're thinking, oh, they won't let me do this, they keep doing that, oh, these people are so mean, all this racism. If you keep focusing on that, that's what you keep experiencing. And I've interacted with people all different races, colors, ethnicities, and I have experienced nothing but love.
Mm-hmm.
Even the few times throughout the year I got stopped by police. And the encounter was always friendly. It was all, and that matter of fact, the one that said, you know, your smile is too pretty for me to give you a ticket. So you have to think about, what are you projecting? Because that's what you're always going to reflect back. If it's attitude, if it's expectation of somebody to be mean to you. And so you don't realize you're actually putting the meanness out there first, and they're reacting to you.
Yep.
If you're putting out love and joy, how are they going to give you meanness and you're not giving them any?
Mm-mm.
So these are things that we learn. And when we can teach these things through the various mediums, we can actually influence thought. So even for all around us, other media, other programs are saying the world is coming to an end and it's terrible. Yeah, there is something coming to an end. We're at the end of a spiritual season. And that means the beginning of a new spiritual season where we know better. And when you know better, you do better, as it said. So we are understanding that there is no need for conflict. We have all the means to talk directly to each other, face to face, everywhere in the world. So if there's a problem, well, why don't we just ask you about it? So everybody's worried about the Afghanistan people coming. Well, we're going to have some people on our upcoming shows from Afghanistan, so we can talk about, what are you experiencing? What is the conflict really about? And what would make it go away? What is it that everybody would like to happen so that there is no more conflict? And how can we help make that happen? And it's easier than you think if you just talk to people. And you can talk to people when you see them as being the same as you, because that's what we all are. We're all the same. So look forward to an upcoming conversation with some of the immigrants, from people that are fleeing for their lives and hoping that they'll meet compassionate people. I'm getting in touch with a young lady who has an organization where she helps refugees find, lodging, housing, accommodations, and helps them with all the other things that they need. And we'll get a chance to really see the human side of this situation and not be fearful of that which we don't know. And I'm so grateful that we have an opportunity to talk directly to people so we don't have to speculate. So I'll definitely keep you posted on the date and time of that show, because we're working to make that happen as soon as possible.
Amen.
Amen. Now, this Wednesday, we got our men only discussion. And afterwards, we're going to be here on Facebook Live on the Female Solution Facebook page for the after show. After that show, to talk to our sisters of the microphone and those women who've listened in to that conversation and just kind of reflect on what we heard, because the men are going to be able to talk about anger. How do they react when they're angry? And have they ever found themselves in a situation where they were involved in domestic violence? And what happened? And what we want to do, again, not, no, there's no man bashing involved. We're helping them to reflect on things and helping them to see the power that they have to change things. But also, we'll get a chance to see how deeply we affect them by the things we say and do. A lot of times women don't realize the deep wounds we inflict with our words. And sometimes we get a little physically violent. We feel like, well, hey, I'm a woman, you can't hit me back. And we might actually hit and hurt somebody because, we just assume, well, hey, if I slap you, if I hit you, if I punch you, hey, you're a man, don't hit me back. I'm a woman. Yeah, but you just hurt somebody. And if you hurt them verbally, because we can hit below the belt verbally in such a way that's crushing to the spirit. And we don't know that because we don't know what wounds that person might already be carrying that have not healed from childhood, from their mother, their father, whatever. And you can say something that just push the wrong button.
Yes, ma'am.
Things explode like pushing the button that is connected to the bomb somewhere. We're doing that and not even realizing it. So we're going to get a chance to hear the men talk about anger. And this discussion to be led by our co-host, Kareem Hamid, always reveals so much, because at some point, men let down their guard. They don't hear our voices in the background, so they can feel like they're having a private conversation and tell the truth. And that's what we're here, so we can understand how we can be more supportive and helpful in their growth as well as our own. So look for it this Wednesday, men only, talking about anger.
Yeah, because they said some things last time, and I was like, "Ooh, did they really say that? Do they know we're listening?" And it's like, yeah.
And it's because they forget that we're listening.
Yeah. And we want them to forget that we're listening.
We're listening. Yes.
We want them to forget. And we want to keep them in our prayers too, because our men go through a lot more than the average man on this planet, because this whole system is designed. Do you hear what I said? This whole system is designed for our men to not to be their very best. I'll put it like that. How about that?
One thing that I've come to understand, and it's helped me a lot recently, people who are mean to you, they're really reflecting how they feel about themselves. It's just like bullying. Children who bully other children are children who feel badly about themselves, and they believe that if I can make you feel bad, then that's going to make me feel better about myself. So anybody who is treating someone badly, whether it's on the basis of race or gender or economics or whatever it is, you're looking at a person who feels badly about themselves. If they didn't feel badly about themselves, they wouldn't need to try to put you down or make you.
Right.
They would bully you psychologically, physically, emotionally, or any other kind of way, unless they felt bad about themselves. So we always think, well, we could get rid of racism. If we just taught white people about our great history, and if they just understood the wonderful things that we did. No, that's not it. That's not it. It's got nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with people knowing your greatness, because that's not why they're treating you badly. They're treating you badly because they feel bad about themselves. And they think that if they treat you badly, they're going to feel better about themselves. That's where that is. So when you're taught to love yourself, what that does is make you immune to other people's mistreatment, because you only feel bad when somebody treats you badly if inside you feel that you are not worthy of good treatment. If inside that you feel that you are somehow of lesser value, that's the only way that has an impact on you. Otherwise, you can ignore it because you don't care what they think.
Right.
So when you feel bad that someone's treating you badly, it's because inside you feel bad about yourself. If you want to be immune to everybody else's misbehavior, whether it's racism, sexism, classism, love yourself, accept yourself. What is that? What that line? You know, they say in the tapping, even though so and so and so and so, I love and accept myself.
Yes.
That's what you have to say all the time. I love and accept myself. Whether I'm tall, short, fat, skinny, light, dark, whatever I am, whether I got a lot of money in the bank, whether I got a negative balance in the bank, whether I got a car that works, whether I'm on the bus, whatever my circumstances, I love and accept myself. And when you feel that on the inside, and you will project it on the outside, it's like armor that nobody can penetrate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what they say about you. I don't care how they treat you. They can't penetrate that armor of self-love, and they can't lower your vibration and make you feel bad, because the love is on the inside of you. What is that song, George Benson thing? That I found the greatest love of all inside of me.
Inside of me.
It is. So that's
out there, and it's not there.
It's not there.
It's not where you're gonna get it from.
You keep thinking, if I can make these people treat me right, you don't need to make them treat you anything. They're going to treat you according to how they feel about themselves.
Yes.
If they don't love themselves, if they don't like themselves, if they feel bad about themselves, they're going to treat you badly. You can't fix that in them. They have to fix it. What you do is make yourself immune. And it works the same way. Emotional immunity works the same way as physical immunity. If you want to be immune from a virus, you want to be immune from a cold, you want to be immune from the flu, you want to be immune, keep your vibration high. Love yourself. Same thing. You want to be a love to people's name. You want to be immune to people's name calling. You want to be immune to people discriminating against you and not hiring you. You want to be immune to being made to feel bad because somebody speaks harshly to you. You want to be immune to it. Love yourself, and you will be immune to anybody making you feel bad. Now, what happens to our brothers, because so often they were raised in households where there was a lot of anger directed at them, because sometimes our sisters are mad at the men who father their children and they take it out on the sons. So when your mother treats you like you're worthless, that goes in your heart. That's how you feel. And that's the wound that a lot of them are still carrying. And that's why it hurts them so badly. They get pulled over by a cop who wants to show that he's big and bad and he got ego and self-esteem issues. So he's threatening their lives, and then they're feeling like they've been punked, and so they're angry at that. They go through that all the time. So what we're seeing is that whole dynamic. One person who hates himself attack another person who's learned to not feel good about himself. And this is what our men have to go through all the time. So what can we do to help heal those wounds that they grew up with as children, being attacked sometimes by women who were hurt? How can we help them to heal those wounds inside so that they can be better men, so they can love themselves? That's our challenge. And a lot of times, men feel like they have to cover the pain with pretending to be tough. And that's why you want to deal with anger, because anger is usually the only emotion men are allowed to express. But a lot of times, anger is really the expression of grief, the expression of sadness, the expression of heartbreak. It comes out as anger. That's, a male emotion, anger, But what they really want to do is cry.
Yeah. And they can't cry because society told them men don't cry, which is the furthest thing from the truth. Crying is a human emotion.
Yes.
Deborah Smith says, that's right. Love yourself and you can love and respect others. Deborah is our travel agent.
Yeah.
Third Saturday, 12 noon until 1 p.m. 2 p.m. 12 until 2 p.m. on
Yeah.
the third Saturday. That's powerful. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Love yourself, and then you can love and respect others. When you don't love and respect others, it's a
You find fault in others.
That's right. And all of us have friends like that. You know, they'll be the first one to find fault with you. Everybody else will say, "Oh, you look wonderful." Oh, well, you know, you got a wrinkle in your shirt. I mean, they'll be looking for something wrong, and you think, you know, you want to find the wrong thing. But that's because that's how they feel about themselves. That's one thing if somebody's giving you constructive criticism. But when you have somebody that's always finding fault, always negative, always got the thing to say that could make you feel bad, and you have to reflect on what is this person really showing me about how they feel about themselves. They always have something negative. And what it really is they're feeling bad about themselves. And so you can forgive them. And when you know this, that's what helps you to forgive. Forgiveness is realizing that people are only acting according to the vibration that they're at, you know, whether they have a good feeling about themselves or not a good feeling about themselves. So they're only reflecting that. And they're reflecting whatever information they have received and accepted about themselves, about the world, about their worth. So if you know that they are only behaving according to what they have ingested about themselves, you can forgive them. If they're mean, if they're hurtful, if they're rude, if they're inconsiderate, you can forgive them because you know that they're only projecting what's inside of them and they can't help it until something happens to change what's on the inside of them. Forgiveness is the most difficult thing because we always feel like people know what they're doing. They're being mean on purpose. They're trying to hurt us. And so we feel like I should be giving them pain back for the pain they gave me. But if you love yourself, they can't give you any pain.
That's work.
Yes.
That's work. Baba Kwame Sunhorse, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
Okay, I heard something moving around. I thought you wanted to speak.
Yeah, I did, but I was trying to wait for Naima to finish her dialogue. And what she said.
We know sometimes I have to butt in because, you know, I'll keep on.
That's what we do. Go ahead, Carvey.
No, what she's saying is very important, and that's the relationship of what women and men are having. But we also have to look at women were girls, men were boys, and this is where the traumas of some of these things that we grow into or grow with is because what happens to that boy? How did he learn to be a man? What were the influences to show him about himself to where he did not have to look at finding somebody outside of him to validate him? And so these are key issues in that, yes, we have these issues, but how is it they keep persisting in our community is because Julius Nyerere says, whosoever educates your children controls your future. And look at the future.
We don't. So we don't need other folks controlling our children, educating our children, because
miseducating our children.
Yes.
Because see, education is the word means induspere, means to bring out. All of us come onto this planet with purpose and direction. Because that's what's created in the womb, a place of possibilities, protection, and potential. And when we come forth to where we're greeted, coming from the mother, we're greeted by the father. And greeted by the father is to show that here is a man that's going to provide, to protect, and profess. We have what in our communities the most of? Single households. They're not, we make children together, but we don't raise children together. That is a very challenging, and so we look at how come our relationships, we can't stay together, is because what do we do when we bring forth life? We don't even raise it together. So
Right.
how would that person, male or female, know? Yes, there are those that are there and they have sustained that part of father and motherhood, but it's getting, the division is changing. And what she's talking about with being able to use the AI, the thing that happens is that's artificial. We've got to go back to the DI. The divine intelligence has always been the first internet.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Wow. Never looked at it like that.
Yeah,
See?
and you know, the interesting thing about these relationships that we have, when you grow up in a household where you see the cooperation and you see the mutual respect, then you know what it looks like, you know what it feels like. What we're always doing is recreating feelings because that's what's familiar to us. But if you grow up in a household where there's conflict, you know what that feels like as well. And you will unconsciously recreate that feeling, that person that you're arguing with all the time, that person that you're angry with all the time. You recreate what is familiar with you. So if we want children to be able in the future to create relationships that are peaceful and harmonious, we have to give them that feeling. We have to give them the experience of that feeling. We unfortunately give them the experience of feeling abandoned, feeling angry, feeling sad, because women unfortunately believe that if I can make my children feel as angry at their father as I feel, then I'm proving that I am the one who is right in this conflict, because all of us are mad at him. So therefore he must be in the wrong. That's the way we think. And so this is why we keep wounding our children. Instead of us being able to say, okay, the two of us have not been able to work out our differences, but we both still love you. And we both are going to work together to care for you. Instead of us having that level of maturity, we're raising children with a spirit of vengeance inside of us. And we end up hurting the children. Regardless of whatever reason why we didn't get along, obviously the man had some good traits. We wouldn't have been with him in the first place.
Okay.
So he didn't all of a sudden just become this monster and horrible person. Oh, you can't come around your children. We do so much damage trying to make ourselves be the one that's right in the conflict. There doesn't need to be a right and wrong. Just there needs to be an understanding that we grew apart, but we still are going to collectively raise you because we love and respect you as our child. That's the message we have to be able to give to our children.
I agree wholeheartedly.
It takes maturity though, because most of the time, when people are mad, they're not in their right minds. When you're angry, you're not in your right mind.
We ain't trying to hear nothing you trying to say, and ain't nothing you gonna say to make it better, because I'm not in my right mind, because you done already messed it up with your negative comment. So no, we ain't trying to hear none of that. None of that. Yeah. So if this has been of an enlightening morning for you, we hope it has, and we hope that you will share this information with someone else, because somebody somewhere is having a time of their own and they could really use a word of encouragement. And that's what we do. We specialize in helping people help themselves.
There you go.
But could I actually make a suggestion, because we're bringing back, and we did this once before, Naima, and it was very powerful when we had the men, and we did that on Wednesdays. The thing that I see what it is, okay, the men, but we're not asking the young men that are coming into manhood before they become fathers, and some might have already become, but how can we help you? What is it that you're looking, that you need support in? Because if they don't have that connection with trusting and a man, because their father wasn't there, their mother had downplayed the father, like you're saying, then we have to begin to look at how can we help the young men being able to identify and trust elders and older men.
Well, we've got a couple of young men we're going to invite for this Wednesday, and of course, we're looking forward to you being there. But we have some young men we're going to see if we can bring on into that conversation and give that young male perspective, because I think we do need to hear that, and I think the elder men need to hear from the younger men to really understand how they've been affected by the presence and absence of older men in their lives.
Right. And that's what I'm sharing, is that we as elders, and we have to stop saying, I know, no. We've done our part in understanding what we did. We've made our mistakes, and we've done our part as becoming a man. Now the next generation is coming, and what we have to look at is not how to make them, how to help them. Give them the tools and give them the toy box, because we need tools, but we also need toy boxes. Toy boxes means I know how to love me, and I know how to play with my son. I know how to be a father to my daughter.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah. You do have to,
and express it. And express it. Say it, not just do something, because we're always trying to do, but to say it.
Yeah, I care about you.
Put your arms around them.
Love you. Yeah.
Look them in the eyes. Smile. Tell them you love them. Because we don't get enough of that.
And that's hard if you never receive
intergenerational trauma that we see in the Native American, because those children were put in missionary schools. They were abused. They were savagely taken away their languages and their culture. And then the sexual abuse. So when they grew up, they were zombies. They've come back to the reservation and produced another generation, because they have been abused. They have been escaping through drugs and alcohol. Yes. And we see this persistently. We had traumas through post-traumatic slave syndrome, and they have intergenerational. We have parallel roads, and what they're both doing, looking at both of us, they're trying to make us extinct.
Yes, say that. Yes. And there are entities in place that want you to be extinct, have always wanted you to be extinct. You just didn't know it, but now you know it. What will you do about it?
Yeah.
Do your best, be your best in every single way, every single day. And that's a challenge. We'll go to work and work those extra hours to make extra money. But if you spend an hour working on yourself every day, at some point in your life, it will appear to you as like, I'm working on somebody else's dream. And so what am I doing for my dream?
Absolutely. Work on yourself.
Money, because my own natural energy yields. They know what your energy yields, but what does my energy yield me? I've got to take another call, so I thank you, sisters, for this, and we'll speak again.
All righty. Thank you so much, Brother Kwame. We appreciate that. Baba Kwame Sunhorse from Georgia. He does the Sweat Lodge. Is that the right? Yes. Yeah, Sweat Lodge. Lord have mercy. You ain't lived until you've had a Sweat Lodge experience. That's all. You think you did something by going to Punta Cana and all that, in Hawaii, and you ain't lived.
Sweat Lodge, that's the thing.
You find out about a Sweat Lodge, and you can email me info@higherlearningnetwork.org, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter, which I just sent out. But we'll send you a copy of it too. So just send us an email, info@higherlearningnetwork.org, and be sure and join us Saturday, 12 noon until 2 p.m. Saturday from 12 noon until 1 p.m. for the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest.
Fantastic.
Cash money, and they get prizes. And thank you to Roma Boots for being our sponsor this month. Roma Boots, they give away boots for the children.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, you buy one boot and they'll give another one. They're all over the world.
That is
South Africa, Mexico, Central America, Romania, anywhere, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, South Africa, anywhere you can think in the world. And I always show that. Buy one, and they'll give a pair away free. And last but not least, your data, your dollars. If you got more than 5 apps on your phone, you got too many, because they're making 25 billion. Did you hear what I said? Not million, billion dollars a year off of your information that you could be getting paid for too. Brother on the south side of Chicago, Michael Harrison, I believe it is. And that's who we're working with, helping people to get money, make money off of their own cell phone, because everybody else making money off of it. We should make money off of it too. We meaning you, because you're the information. So if you want information on that, email us too, info@higherlearningnetwork.org. Last but not least, your data, your dollars. Close it out for us, Naima.
Well, this has been a great day, and it's just getting started.
Just getting started.
Well, we invite you to come back tomorrow for self-care with Jody Cuzan. And the rest of the week, of course, Wednesday will be men only, discussing anger. So join us here on the Female Solution for that. And then Thursday, Dr. Debbie, and you don't want to miss this one. Her is somebody we should know, telling us all about PTSD as someone who has come from the higher ranks of the Army and has faced the reality of coming back to civilian life. It's not a great journey. We want to hear that. And of course, Friday, health and well-being with Beata. And Saturday is wisdom with Mama D. And we're going to be peeking in on that global teen talent competition with Higher Learning Network, because we want to understand some of the wonderful talent that we are experiencing all over the world through our young people. And
young people are doing it.
They're doing it. And of course, on Sunday, we got Soul Purpose Healing with Viata. So on the Female Solution and our team of hosts every day of the week. And I'm Naima Latif. As always, I'm grateful to be among those who are global transformers. We're changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be.
To the way it should be. To the way it should be. And I need to find the closing so I can play that closing for us, Naima.
Oh, you know what? I think the switchboard comes.
Oh, it just closed. Yes. Oh, well. Yep, it just did. So we won't be doing that one. So we'll say it our own way, as we say on Soul Train. Love, peace, and hair grease. How about that?
That'll work.
Y'all make it a great day. Thank you so much for watching. And please share, like, and share, and subscribe on our YouTube page, Higher Learning
TV show.
Yeah. Higher Learning TV show. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Stay on purpose, stay empowered. Stay tuned to tomorrow morning, self-care with Jody Cuzan. Make it a great day, and thanks for watching.